We are live. Dylan.
Yes, we are, Druzy. You came in before me. You wanted to take the hosting.
I saw the double piece from or double thumbs up from producer Vicar. I think I just reacted before you, like a Formula One driver, just ready to go. But no, I'll let you host, mate. You're the man.
All right. I don't know what I'm saying now. I'd like to welcome in our next guest, which is Nathan from the Sad Sainter.
Thank you.
Big on Instagram, mate.
I am. They call me the St Kilda celebrity for nothing,
The St Kilda celebrity.
Yeah, I am the guy.
You're that guy.
Not really. That was
we had Woody on a couple of weeks ago. He's a mad Saints fan. Have you crossed paths with
Who's
Woody? Wooden Spoon Data.
No, I've had a couple of conversations with him, but
He's
I
a good
stuff.
man.
I do watch his weekly videos on Saints TV.
Yeah, he's a good man. He came on the week after Freo lost to St Kilda.
Can you just repeat that one more time?
He came on the week after Freo lost to St Kilda.
Thank you.
Yep, that happened. Anyway,
He was preying on you, Druzy.
Yeah. I've always had a bit of a reputation for not loving St Kilda, so I'm glad we've had a few on the.
Why? We're just so lovable.
Yeah.
Who could hate us?
Don't know, man. How do you feel about St Kilda, Dylan? Are they nothing or?
I probably have a bit of a connection to the Saints just for the fact that they are like another one of those small Melbourne teams. I feel us, the Western Bulldogs and the Saints have some sort of similarities, just small fan bases, get a bit fucked over. you know what I mean?
Play the victim.
Play the victim.
Woe is me.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit like Freo of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing Saints and Freo do win, and that's the merch department.
The merch department? Yeah. Apparel on point.
Yeah.
Those, what's it, the candy strip?
Candy
jersey?
stripe? Yeah.
The candy stripe,
You got a tattoo. You got the candy stripe tattoo.
No, it's a stick man.
Isn't that? Oh, that's a
I don't know
different
if
thing.
that's going to catch on, but...
I don't know St Kilda terminology. I apologise. But that's dedication to the cause.
I'm an absolute tragic. And despite my name, I'm stupidly optimistic.
And happy.
I am. Until usually about the 3/4 time, and then I start to get nervous or just overall depressed.
Could you confirm if I say St Kilda right? St Kilda. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Because Dylan pulled me up last week. He was
Isn't
saying
it St Kilda?
St Kilda.
What?
St
Kilda.
St Kilda.
Bang, from a St Kilda fan.
But like, there's no saint.
Yeah, but I think
It's
ST
St Kilda.
is just saint.
No, it's not though.
Yeah, but I think it like is like just.
There is no the place St Kilda doesn't have a saint.
You can justify it all you want. You're wrong.
No, I'm not though. I know people. I know people say St Kilda, but it's wrong. As in, if you're talking about the suburb.
Yeah.
The suburb is St Kilda.
You know, he's like that like Principal Skinner meme where it's like like the children are wrong. You know that meme where
he's not taking kindly to this. He's going to search it up.
Get in the comments, guys. Back me up. It's St Kilda. Google it. There is no saint.
if you pronounce it that way, you're banned from Moorabbin.
Oh dear.
What's happening tonight, Dylan? What have we got in store?
We do have a pretty important game, I would say. Hawks and the Gold Coast Suns. We're talking about currently on the ladder, 5th versus 3rd, I want to say. I should have that in my notes here somewhere, but I actually don't. But they're playing in Darwin, which has been pretty good hunting ground for the Gold Coast Suns. 7-0 in Darwin by an average of 43 points.
That's incredible.
That is an incredible winning record.
I've been to TIO Stadium once in 2016.
How are the conditions?
Very humid, like just ridiculous. Like one of those ones where you step outside and your skin's just clammy and like just. Have you been to Darwin before yourself?
I have. I ended up there coming back when I was coming back to Australia. I ended up in the quarantine.
Oh yeah,
section of it, but I haven't actually been.
Right,
but I understand the heat.
So you're well like air conditioned and that type of thing.
I was, but obviously you still went outside.
Yeah, you're still copping it.
Yeah.
Darwin is just like the wild, wild west. That city, like if Australia had a city that didn't have laws, it would be Darwin. So it's just a weird feel around TIO. Yeah, lots of fun, but yeah, humidity. We played Melbourne and they pumped us. Yeah, it wasn't very fun. Jeremy Howe took a screamer right in front of me, front row at TIO. It is tough conditions to play football. They usually go into like an ice room or a cool room at quarter time, 3/4 time to chill out. Lots of people are hot on Gold Coast this game. Nath, who are you fancying heading into this one? And do you think it'll be a blowout or do you think it'll be a close one?
Yeah, I think Darwin's becoming a bit of a stomping ground.
Yeah.
Gold Coast.
They pumped the Cats there last year. To think how far Geelong went last year, I know they were sort of good and then had that weird trough in the middle of the year, but to make Geelong look that silly, Rowell and Anderson, I reckon, had like 40 each and just took the absolute piss. It was like they were just going centre bounce goal all night.
Do you think, like, what's the biggest sort of asset that the Gold Coast Suns have to play there? Is it something kind of fundamentally about their squad that you think, like, with those kind of like Rowell, Anderson, those types in the midfield, Flanders, Tuke Miller, do they play the conditions well, or do you think it's just they've become sort of acclimatised to it because they play there more regularly?
Is Gold Coast pretty humid?
Yeah.
I'd say that has a big part of it.
Just the fact that they play there on a week-to-week basis.
They're used to humid conditions, I suppose. Darwin's like top-end humidity, though, you know what I mean? Like if
it's different,
if Perth's down here in humidity, then it's like Gold Coast, and then Darwin's another level up.
I feel like, though,
Melbourne's,
just on the player side of it, like I feel like if there was a player built to play in Darwin, it was Matt Rowell.
You say that. We live streamed the Q Clash the other night. It was slippery, humid conditions.
And he sucked.
And he didn't get going. Maybe that was just Brisbane being good. But
yeah, I think because they sent someone to him in that game, didn't they? From memory. They tried to stop him a little bit. I mean, Brisbane's midfield in that game just got well on top. I've got a few more stats there. These two teams met way back in round 5 of 2024. Gold Coast won that game by 53 points, and that wasn't even in Darwin. They were plus 10 in clearances, plus 20 in inside 50. So they absolutely dominated them out of the middle. That made, at the time, the Hawks 0-5.
Crazy.
Which is absolutely crazy for where they were.
Can you remember what Sam Mitchell said after that game, Dill?
I remember that Sam Mitchell said that they weren't up to the level.
Yeah, which is a good quote of the True Footy live stream. Not up to the level, bit of a buzzword. We haven't used high half forward in a while.
We haven't. And Hawthorn are playing.
Yes, we love the high half forwards of Hawthorn.
It's a bit of a buzzword.
You know what's funny? After that round 5 game, I did like a tier list of midfielders with Caden. We did a YouTube video.
Back in 2024.
Yeah, in 2024, like ranking every AFL team's midfield.
I think I remember watching that.
Maybe we should redo that, Dylan. Yeah. Maybe we should run that up. But I said that Hawthorn had a poor midfield, I think. I said poor or average because they'd lost to Gold Coast the week before and Sam Mitchell like peppered them. Posted it on TikTok and Will Day commented with a thumbs up like 5 weeks later after they'd like gone on this tear, and Will Day came back into the team and like Hawthorn social media were like commented on it as well. So yeah, I'm not going to knock the Hawthorn mids tonight.
They will be without Will Day, though. I feel like he is the cherry on top for that Hawthorn midfield. You look at the other names, the Warples, the Newcombs. Newcomb's a really high-end player, don't get me wrong. But it probably lacks the absolute A-grade quality without Will Day in there.
Yeah,
and particularly coming up against a midfield like the Gold Coast, who have been red hot this season. Anderson, Rowell. Flanders has been playing in there a bit more. Kind of from that half-back role. And Tuke Miller's kind of evergreen. Bailey Humphrey, that explosive sort of 4 to centre mid. So they've got lots of avenues coming out of that midfield. Team ins tonight. So Gold Coast have pulled a bit of an unusual move here.
Tell me.
Well, I'll tell you. They brought in Ned Moyle.
Who?
The Moyle dog.
He's like 6'10", isn't he?
Yeah, he's massive. And they've left Wits in. So
this reminds me, this is like 3 years ago now. Tom Campbell's debut was up in Alice Springs, I think, for St Kilda.
Yeah, interesting.
It was Cairns. It was up in Cairns.
And they played him with Rowan?
Yeah. Oh, no, Rowan was a laid out. That's why we brought in Tom Campbell.
Gotcha.
But we still had probably someone else who could have done rucking.
Was that against Port Adelaide?
No, I think it was the Adelaide game where Phil Thorpe's debut, where he kicked it over his head.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think it was that one.
Gotcha.
That was a close one, wasn't it?
Yeah. All of our Cairns games were pretty close. We just lose all of them.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
That's why I think our president came out like 2 years ago and said, no more.
That's St Kilda though, right? Competitive, but...
Not quite, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what our slogan is, just not quite good enough.
Yeah, not quite good enough.
You know what I love to see? Kausha Deer back into the side. Kausha Deer.
I got a lot of shit because I did a 2023 redraft and I didn't have him in the top 10 in the redraft.
It was 10.
10 was Lawson Humphreys.
That's fair. No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Yeah, I think it's fair too. I got a lot of shit for it though.
Probably from Hawthorn fans then.
Yes. Yeah. Presumably.
Yeah.
I don't imagine there's many Geelong fans coming into back.
Nah, exactly.
I don't know what the last game of footy he played was, but I'm assuming it was the final series last year. Maybe it was against Port Adelaide when they got kicked out. But I was at the Bulldogs final in person. I was going to say something, but I got in on a cheeky one. But Cowshadir put on a clinic that day. Bit of a coming of age game. I can tell you after, but yeah.
Was this something to do with electric again?
No, nothing to do with electric. But yeah, just all I'll say is I got into the MCG on a cheeky one.
We do have some comments. So Adam Newman, the AFL has released the fixtures for round 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and 23 as well.
Oh, there's on around 24 this
What is
year.
your reaction? So we'll probably get into that as the episode goes on. MOB says, Druzy, thoughts on banners in this in the team?
Yeah, Bailey Banfield back into the squad this week. Sean Darcy out. That'll really get us going. Bailey Banfield back into the side is exactly what we needed to win games of football.
What was he, 87 on the AFL 26 game?
If he was 87 rated, bring him back in every day of the week. But he's more of a 58 in my eyes.
Yeah, he's not going to move many needles, I wouldn't have thought.
You know what's weird though? Like we won every metric last week and there's a very negative tone. Can we talk about this Luke Jackson stuff that's going on?
Oh, yeah, we can.
What is going on there?
We absolutely can. I mean,
Playing table tennis with Freo in Melbourne.
I don't know what's going on.
Did you hear Max Gorn on, I think it was Triple M, he does that weekly radio show, and he was like, he brought it up.
So
in the
hopefully
show.
there's someone coming home soon type thing, or coming back soon. I don't understand it, but when there's smoke, there's fire. He's been there for 3 years. He wanted to go home to play for Freo, the club he grew up supporting, to live in Perth. Is it just one where his missus is in his ear? Is it just one of those?
Yeah, what's the... So she has a connection, right, to Melbourne. She's...
She works for the NBL, and does she... Oh, she might be a retired netballer. But yeah, she's from Melbourne, maybe even like Geelong way.
Gotcha.
Something like that. He spent a lot of time in the off-season down in like Geelong, Torquay, that area, I'm pretty sure.
Bit similar down there to Perth vibes.
Yeah. Well, imagine if he went to Geelong. Imagine he didn't go to
He
Melbourne.
probably will.
A lot of acres down there.
Yes, he needs it to trot around the horse. But I don't know if it's true. I really hope it's not. But yeah, I won't be happy.
Can you imagine though how much that would rejuvenate Geelong? Like if he went we pulled that out of our arse a little bit, but if he went to Geelong, they've got an aging Reece Stanley. They're kind of playing like Mr. Fix-It's, Sam de Koning in the ruck.
Yeah,
that'd just fix everything.
You'd just expect him to go back to Melbourne if he did leave, but like I just don't get it, man. Is it one?
What don't you get? Like go into that a little bit more.
The fact that he's just moved back to Perth 3 years ago. Like, why would you... Like, surely you know the decision you're making when you leave a side that you've just won a flag with.
Love is a funny thing.
Yeah. Is he just being held by the balls? Maybe.
Is it, I thought the grass was going to be greener.
It will be greener.
It's clearly not under Longmuir.
Yeah.
I've got to get out of this mess, this sinking ship.
Is it one where he trains with Sean Darcy every day and goes, I'm a better ruckman than him and I'm still not playing first ruck?
It has to be in the conversation. And you'd be looking at that Melbourne team going, yes, I'm still behind Gorn, but he's not going to be playing for forever. He's closer to retirement than what Darcy is. Albeit Darcy's body obviously is holding him back pretty significantly, but yeah.
Luke Jackson's just a bit of a spoon in the way that he speaks, gun athlete, but he's not the most clear communicator.
Yeah.
And I feel like no matter what happens, he will never give a good rationale as to why he's made the decision.
So you'll just...
I feel like he'll be like, oh yeah, the opportunity came up to go back to Melbourne and like my missus is from there, so I really enjoyed my time at Freo. See you later. I think that's all, like, unless it's off-field stuff, I don't know. But the game's about to start. I don't need to be talking about
You need to
the
give us some
Dockers.
volume.
What's that?
Just to create the atmos. You need to give us some volume. Actually, wait, I think you need to use the other one on this TV.
Oh,
yeah.
New remote. What are our tips, guys?
I'm going Hawks. I'm going against the grain here. I think Hawthorn are just such a good team. I think there's going to be problems with that, like Weddle, Scrimshaw, Sicily types. Nathan, who are you tipping?
Darwin Suns by 4 goals. But my tip is, I know it's humid. Jed Walter breakout game.
Ooh.
I've said that every week. So it hasn't quite happened, but today's the time.
He just looks the part, except for actually coming to the party.
Jed Walter.
Yeah.
Who are you tipping, Drews?
Suns by less than 2 goals.
Suns by less than 2 goals. Okay, so you're not sticking with that 43 points idea.
No. Because Hawthorn are never... Well, this year they're not going to be a team that slows down. How has Marby or Chol found himself in so much space so early? I've also just realised Is this game in Darwin to open the round because it's Indigenous round? Must be.
It could be. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
They've probably done that every year.
Have they?
Or most years. I don't know. I feel like they've done this before.
Maybe they did it for the Geelong.
I'm having
game
deja vu. I
last
feel like
year.
I've had this conversation with someone before.
I haven't. But I rate it.
Did you guys miss that throw at the beginning from Jai Newcomb? It was like the biggest throw I've ever seen coming out of the centre stoppage.
Nah, I missed it, bro.
You missed
I
it.
don't see throws. Ever since we got Jack McRae, I don't see throws anymore. It's great.
What do you think of Jack McRae?
I think I love him, but we desperately need a plan B. Every time he gets clamped down, we die. That's it.
I don't know what world we're living in where Jack McRae needs to get clamped down. But it's...
When he's one of the best clearance players in the competition, Dylan. That's when.
I feel like some Kane Corns is about to come out in a second.
Yeah.
This is a recurring topic on the live stream every week, especially when we have like Woody on. Who else has gone toe to toe with you? Footy with Alex.
Yeah, Footy with Alex came for me really hard.
Came for the jugular.
Yep. I still think there's a lack of damage. I'm not backing down. Let's not go again. There's a seriously good player there with the football, Bodie Euland.
Is his brother highly touted? Jet
Yes.
Walter breakout game, Nate.
Roger.
Great call.
Done.
We've said
Barrel it.
enough.
He's a big unit, isn't he?
What do they feed him, do you reckon?
Mince.
Milk. Yeah, mince and
Just,
milk.
No, I reckon he just busts straight into the cow.
Full cream milk from the cow that he eats.
He's going to be, in about 3 years, we're going to get like questions about his birth certificate.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they do for some
Yeah.
like soccer players from like,
Yeah.
you know,
What's that baseball movie?
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
Nah, like the comedy when it's like the young kids team and that bloke has like the piece of paper that says I am 12.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What's it called, man?
Oh. Not with
Like early
Keanu,
2000s movie.
Keanu Reeves?
Nah.
I know it's Sucre from Prison Break is the meme.
What movie is that? I am 12 mean. Benchwarmers. There it is.
Oh,
Anyway.
bench warmers like Adam Sandler and...
Yes.
Yeah,
Is it
gotcha.
Adam Sandler?
I think so.
I feel like it's that era, but I don't know if it's Adam Sandler.
I thought it was also the guy from...
This is the cast. That's the cover.
What an elite company.
Yeah. Oh, Adam Sandler's not in it.
No. It's Rob Schneider, David Spade, and some other
Rob
guy.
Schneider. Yeah, David
Dude,
Spade.
bring back movies like that. Like, I want to watch that just
Yeah.
from the cover. You know what I mean?
It's just
Like,
funny, isn't it? Oh, what was that kick from Newcomb? We probably better get back on the game here a little bit.
fourth versus third. Dylan?
It's fourth versus third, is it?
Fourth versus third.
So it's a top four clash, and I didn't even say it. 6-2, the Suns. 7-2. So yeah, the Suns and the Bombers are played one less than everyone, haven't they?
Yes. So the Suns could be higher.
Yeah.
The Suns have lost to the Premiers and the Wooden Spooners? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Richmond finished bottom last year.
Yep. And they lost to Brisbane in the Q clash.
That's quite silly, isn't it? They've lost to the top and the bottom. And
Does-
nowhere in between.
It does show a competitive league, though, except if you're North Melbourne, West Coast, or Richmond.
Dylan's
Well-
favourite player, Dylan Moore. puts
Dylan
through the
Moore,
first
my
of the game.
boy. Get the Hawks over the line. I've got some big matchups here, guys. Collins versus Chol. Is that one on? Was Chol on Collins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
was it
vice
back
versa?
Andrew?
Could have been. Let's
feel
have a
like
look. Nah, it's
before-
Collins.
Yeah, it's Collins on Joel, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Gee, was that a free kick? That was a bit soft.
That's very soft. Well, it wasn't on
Oh, it wasn't on
Yeah.
Collins. Yeah, okay, interesting. Mac Andrew, I assume will be on Kalshadir.
Kausha. Welcome back to footy.
Kalshir. Who gets the chocolates there?
Well, you'd say Mac Andrew does, given that he's an absolute freak in defence.
Tower over him as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
For some reason, I have this vision that Kalshadi is not that tall.
He's on
He's-
Weddle at the moment.
Oh, is he? They just got so many tall defenders, Hawthorn. Like
Yeah.
Barras, Battle, Weddle, Scrimshaw, Sicily.
Oh, Rao says, get off me. Gives it to Rioli on half back. See, it looks like he's got the baby oil on, but he's just playing in humid conditions.
Yeah,
Who's 33? Is that Reed?
that's Closey. Sam Closey, I think it is.
You were talking about Bodie Euland before, underrated player.
Aye.
Zeke Euland, draft man.
Draft man, Zeke. It's really annoying because Zeke was he came into the year probably the second highest touted player. But he hasn't played any footy because he's had back stress fractures. So we're not going to see him, I don't think, until the national champs, which are at the beginning of June. And then we'll sort of like get to see, I guess, like improvement from last year. But unbelievable player, pretty small, 178 centimetres, just a little kind of running wing, small forward, half back. He can kind of play all those positions. Little Errol Goulden clone.
So his brother's taller.
Yeah.
Bit of a Caleb and Jai situation.
Yep. Bodie's taller, bigger, more physical. Zeke's, I mean, I say that. Zeke's pretty physical as well. Like he's a little chody little thing.
Love that word.
But he's a surgeon by foot. Left footer. Here he goes. Bodie.
Speaking of the devil. Anderson takes a bounce. Rioli wanted it earlier. You've burnt him there.
Yeah.
You've burnt him in slippery conditions. You just got to give the first give sometimes. Kick. How is there so many numbers everywhere? Holman, Chip, Took.
Guess who came back into this game for Gold Coast as an in as well?
Who?
Guess.
You did say guess. Who came back in?
Yeah.
Ben Long.
Yeah, he did. Did he come in this game?
Maybe he came in
No, he
last
didn't.
week.
He didn't. There's one other. So Ned Moyle was one of them. It was the ruck that I said, but there's one more.
I don't know. I can.
And he's been there
notes.
forever.
David Swallow.
David Swallow. Did you just look at the sheet?
Yeah. Took. Took. The goal umpire's been taken out. They're going to have to hit that with the score review. You love David Swallow, don't you, Dill?
No.
Oh.
I think he's a terrible player.
Whoa, man.
Terrible.
Oh, well, like, he's just an average player, isn't he? He shouldn't
Well,
still
you
be.
just said terrible. Is he average or is he terrible?
Well, he's a... No, he's not terrible. Okay, I'll go back. I'll go back.
Look at the back pedal. Look at the back pedal.
He's not terrible. He's just not very good. Suns by 2 goals, like Mike says, purely given the environment. Yeah, that's fair. Mark Edmonds says Suns squad and their 41 first round picks. Fair play with all their academy selections. Natasha Aldridge says poll for St Kilda or Saint Kilda. That's a good call. Pat Kaz, hashtag free kick Hawthorn. Sam is at Gold Coast and Ted is at Geelong. Kai said that. That's about Closey because there's 2 of those. And Kai also said Fiorini, watch him find a way to get 40 odd touches. I don't think he'll be doing that at the AFL level, but he will at VFL. He's a classic.
Constable.
Yeah, these players that are VFL standard, they go and play VFL and they get 45 kicks. They come to the AFL and
they get 12.
Exactly.
Whatever happened to Alex Davies? I thought he was going to be a player.
Alex Davies, yeah.
That is a name I haven't thought about in such a long time.
He was good, and then he just hasn't been able to crack into the midfield ever.
I
Wasn't
want
he meant to come like to Victoria, it's like request a trade, but then
Well, he should have.
They would have promised him more game time.
Google him because I think he's had problems with concussion.
He did. He was one of those players that just like head over it, down to the
Fearless.
knee area. Yeah,
He's only 23.
he's
Yeah, he's
my
young.
age, bro. That's crazy. He's younger than me. He's a year younger than me.
Pat Kaz also said that goal wouldn't be reviewed if it was a Victorian team. Why do people from outside Victoria get so...
Because Vic bias, bro.
But explain to me Vic bias.
It's like being a St Kilda fan.
Drive by me.
It's the small outsider mentality of if this was Collingwood, this wouldn't be happening to me.
So how's that different to victim
Nah, I don't know. I'm
Victim
just chatting shit. To be
mindset?
fair. I don't know. You'd have to ask the bloke that said it. I'm just chatting shit. I'm just here. For
I do.
entertainment
I think that it's a thing, like from a point of view of the other states get forgotten about. So if you play for a non-Victorian team, you have less of a media presence. They'll talk about you more, etc., etc. But I don't think that it actually, like when people talk about like decisions in the game, as if they're going against like a Gold Coast because
they're not from Victoria.
Or like
or maybe in big games. Like
I miss Ben Long.
Hey,
I miss Ben Long so much.
Yeah, forget he played for St Kilda. Ben Long kicks on from short range there.
Ben Long kicks one from short range.
I'm good.
That is good content. Incredible.
What was he at St Kilda? Was he just like a list clogger?
Yeah, he would do really well for like say 5-6 weeks in a position, whether it be like halfback, small forward. But then he'd knock someone out and get suspended for 3 weeks, and then get sent back to the VFL, and then repeat this for about 3 years.
Never did anything at St Kilda then?
he had a couple of really good games. Like his last game for us, ironically, was probably his best.
Right.
Took like 10 intercept marks.
He
Cam
just looks like
McKenzie
such a handful inside forward 50 at the moment. Like he's one of those players that you can't match up on. Like even then,
I think Ross would have loved him.
yeah,
I never would have guessed in a million years that Ben Long would be like
a
in the
star.
all Australian conversation.
Yeah.
It's cray.
John Newcomb looks up for this one. I'm keen.
Josh Weddle in the ruck and wins the tap. Noah Anderson.
Nando.
Left foot. Get out of here kick. Go hole man. Go hole man. Go
Oh, he's
hole
got
man.
him.
Holding the ball, umpire. He's called the throat.
That's
It
no,
hit his boot.
insufficient attempt.
Battle should have just held on to that ball and he would have been fine.
That's why we got rid of him.
Oh, there's another one. God, we're just going to be playing the St Kilda player that left all night.
Ex-Saints.
Who else is out there that used to play for St Kilda? Max King.
Oh!
He freaking
What have I
called
just
it.
seen?
Jed Walter with
That
a
was-
screamer. Wow.
The sad Sainter has been saying it
I'm the
every
Oracle.
week. The Oracle.
I'm the Oracle.
What a call. Jed Walter breakout game, and he stands on the shoulders of James Sicily there.
Kai Broom says, get up, Jetty.
It's nuts.
Can he finish his
Oh,
work?
wow.
Because I don't know if I
That's
could
an
after
awful
that.
ball grip.
It is.
That's
No,
a
it's
shocking ball
not.
grip.
It's not.
It's a goal.
It's a beautiful ball
It's
grip.
a goal.
Swung late. It's not a bad ball grip, and I'll tell you why. Right?
You had the kicking consultant
I
come
had the
down
kicking
to
consultant at
Wattle
Mitchell
Park.
Rezzi's training, right?
I knew this.
If you hold the ball here and you drop it, the ball has further to travel from your hands to your foot. If you hold it at this end, because like that, you know what I mean?
You're talking about holding it at the bottom.
Yeah, so if I'm holding it at the bottom of the ball now, it actually has further to get to my foot, which means it has more time to deviate in the air.
Yeah.
Whereas if you hold it here, not the case. Because
At the top of the ball.
There we
go.
But you were
Yes.
talking about the kind of off grip, weren't you? Didn't Jetty have a sort of a half and half going on?
Kinda, yeah. But I was also talking about how I've never, like, I don't like the hands being all over like the laces. It just looked really ugly.
Yeah, gotcha.
I wasn't even talking about like the schematics of how to actually kick a ball. I just thought it was an ugly ball drop.
I come with the schematics. I like that
Talks to the
word.
kicking consultant once
Yeah. I've actually spoken to him twice. Yeah.
in the same hour.
Yeah, no.
You getting some private lessons?
I wish. I still don't know how to kick a torp. And I
Don't you?
No, I can't kick a torp. You can't kick a drop punt. I can't kick a
I
torp.
bloody well can kick a drop on. What are you fucking talking about?
Gets him every time.
Oh.
It's funny.
Can you kick a drop kick?
Yeah. I hit one in a trick goal kicking challenge once. I was quite impressed with myself.
What's your pocket work like? Like, can you kick a checky and...
I love a drop punt from like the right pocket, like tough shot as a right footer, like where it doesn't
like
in swing, like it comes across.
like on the right side for a left footer?
On the right side for a right footer. Like if
Oh.
I'm looking inside 50, right pocket, if I mark it there, I'm taking a drop punt every time. I just
Yeah.
kick through it and let it glide across. Banana, not
Bit of-
good. Snap, not good.
Fair. Bailey Humphrey has just gone bang
Oh, that is
there.
hot! That is hot, Dylan.
I should have tipped the Suns.
I should have tipped, but my account isn't working.
Humphrey's on fire.
Your defense is terrified.
Oh, dear.
Those goals are so hot when someone just like kicks it from 50, it goes high as the ball's just spinning. And the goal
Particularly
umpire
when
just
they've
goes
just Bailey Humphrey like broken 2 tackles. Watch this in the build up.
big bump from
Comes
Ben
off
Long.
here. Watch. Bang. Okay, it wasn't.
No, it was explosive.
Yeah, and that was Hardwick trying to tackle him, one of the strongest tacklers in the game.
Shot from 49 meters. Bang.
I like the
Sausage.
I like the celly too.
Yeah.
We need more celebrations in the AFL.
We do.
What celebration should I do if I kick a goal this week? I need one. Because we're
Pull
playing
your,
bottom of the
pull your
ladder.
jersey up and just
Mate.
tweak your nipples.
I reckon make sure you kick a goal in the first quarter, then just do Curry's night. Just look like a real twat.
No, 'cause then I'll just get targeted for the rest of the game for being a twat. I don't fancy that. We're playing bottom of the ladder this week. I played a bit of half forward last week, Dylan.
Did you?
Yeah, took a good chest mark, felt like Matthew Pavlich, and in true Matthew Pavlich fashion, from 50, went back, kicked it, and it hit the post. Yeah.
I've seen like so many clips of Caden
Bro.
kick that same goal from the pocket.
He's a human highlight reel, that man.
He really is. It's quite incredible. tell Druzy, get in the comments and tell Druzy what he should do for celebration.
Yes. All I've got right now, my best one, because I'm a big Marcus Rashford fan before he left United, is just the...
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Classic.
Do you remember when there was that celebration? I think it was a Tottenham player started it, and it was like the...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, like the upside down.
Oh, is it this one?
It's just the one.
Yeah,
Dele
yeah.
Alli, yeah.
Was it Dele Alli?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Surely he wasn't doing that as a goal celebration. I thought it was just like a meme. But you can do like the
I think he was.
McGinn at Villa. Where you
What you can do is, it's not a celebration, but do the cans and kick the crowd.
Oh,
Drop
yeah.
the scorpion kick or whatever he did.
Yeah. Just,
Oh! That was Watto.
Watson doubled in height.
The man on the thumbnail is doubled in height. Great call. Oh, you can't see me.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's not bad.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. Kai said it's Son Selly. Is that who did the...
Heung-min Song.
Yeah.
What does Son do?
I don't know.
I don't know. Pretty sure Davies is averaging 25 in the VFL, but can't get a go in the AFL. I did search him up on Wikipedia and I couldn't really find anything.
I do think there's been some concussion issues. I don't know, like, could be completely irrelevant. But
Well,
you
it's
never...
until 2026.
There you go.
So.
Okay, Kai was saying do the Son celebration, which is a rectangle.
This.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Nah, it's lame.
Oh.
I could do this one. Like,
What is that?
it's like I'm pulling my finger off. Ready? It's an optical illusion.
Yeah, that's definitely not lame. Dylan Moore's getting high up the ground here. He wants to be involved.
He wants more of it.
He wants lots of footy. He's Jai. I might reel off a couple of head-to-head player battles here. So we do this, Nathan. So we go top players from both teams, try to do it position for position, sort of age for age as much as I possibly can, and try to go like, who would you rather? And then we see which team sort of has the more better players. So like should win the game technically. In this one, I've included a couple of injured. Like I'm sort of looking at it a little bit more globally. So for the entire season, not just for this game. But the first one I have, and I think it's probably best defender for best defender. You could argue that's Mac Andrew, but I've gone Sam Collins, who was number one in their best and fairest last year, against Sicily, who didn't finish in the top 10 for Hawthorn. Who would you take?
I'd take Sicily. I don't think that's a question. That's not really a question.
I would take the dog as well.
Yeah, I think you got to. But this season, Sam Collins, I would say, has been a better defender.
Defender, yeah. It's a difficult one. I think, like, obviously Sicily's the higher talent.
Yes.
But maybe, like, there's an argument that Collins, as far as, like, just that big gorilla defender.
More consistent. What you see is what you get.
It's because he's not, like, he doesn't offer anything offensively, so he's kind of just got a more simple job to do, right?
Yeah. No, you're taking James Sicily, aren't you?
Yeah,
let's not be edgy.
So, first one to Hawthorn. I totally agree with that, by the way. But he was outside the top 10 in their best and fairest last year. I assume that's because he missed footy.
Did he?
He must. He was outside the top 10 in their best and fairest.
They had a lot of good contributors last year, though, I feel like. Like Dylan, I don't know who won their best and fairest, but Dylan Moore, Weddle.
It was John Newcomb.
John Newcomb won it. There you go.
The next one I've got here is Bodie Hewland, who was 2 in their best and fairest. So they really rated the defenders. And I've gone for him against Battle, who was 3rd in the Saints' best and fairest. Who are you taking? And let us know in the comments as well, guys.
I'm going to copy Nate's answer here.
Josh Battle.
Hewland.
I'm taking Hewland.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I'm just going to be a bit salty and a bit...
You're going to look like a dick, and then we're like, no, it's Hewland, man.
Yeah,
like,
I'm taking Hewland too. Cool. Happy with that.
I didn't really see him play too much at St Kilda. Like, I don't know.
No, Battle was very, very good.
Yeah.
Like, I think this year's proven he didn't... Because a lot of people were saying Battle held together our backline, and I think that's kind of been proven false.
Yeah.
Because we're still getting the same results.
Oh, I think Wilkie was still the better player. But Battle is a good player.
Yeah, no, don't get me... He's a very good player.
Yeah.
Battle's better than Wilkie, would you say?
No, absolutely not.
No. Wilkie's better.
Yeah.
Right.
Ben Johnson says Collins is getting more out of his talent. I mean, that's probably fair enough right now. I think the hate on Sicily this season's been a little bit over the top. Like, he doesn't have a defined role right now. He's being moved around the ground like quite a lot. It's pretty unsettling for a player. Like, that's obviously, if you want to be a star of the competition, you have to be able to deal with that. But I think that's, I'd give him a little bit of an out on that.
The issue with Sicily as well is he can he almost tries to get under the skin of his opponent more than go for the ball. Especially in the last couple of weeks where he's tried something, he's tried to like, punch on or whatever, and he just ends up looking like a dickhead. Yeah.
It's interesting that conversation too of like, you would say that he's a very like a highly competitive player and a combative sort of player. Like he wants to be physical, but where's the line?
Almost too competitive.
Too competitive at times, where he can actually cost you and he can sort of become, what's the word for it? Like selfish in the sense that he's letting his, issue with what's going on.
Like when it works, it's brilliant, but when it doesn't, you look like an absolute tool.
Yep. Actually, Collins just looked good then. Specimen coming out of defence. Wooden Spoon Data says, it's the sad Sainter. Love his Insta content.
Thank you. It's where I do my best stuff.
Here's Watson. Sorry, just chiming in on the Sicily chat there. I think the criticism's more coming from his ball use. Yeah, just turning the ball over a lot. Like,
he's a good kick, though.
He has been, but now he's turning it over a lot. It's almost like, I don't know, he's trying to kick it like too sexy.
Yeah,
and it's not having the desired result, even though it used to. So people are like, why don't you just kick it normally? It's like, well, I never used to kick it normally and it used to work.
I think people are starting to realise though that kicking is a lot more complicated than what sometimes it's made out to be. Like we kind of think about, there's good kicks and there's bad kicks, but there's so much to it, Like there's decision making, there's aesthetics, there's like penetration, there's the different types of kicks that you can pull off, the little creative ones. Like there's just so much going on. And I feel like Sicily, at the end of the day, it's a big game. I still want the ball in his hands.
Hardwick just beat Matt Rowell in a one-on-one, put your head over it contest.
It happens.
Not often.
Morrison.
Not often against Rowell it happens.
Wardy.
You know what? Hawthorn just look like they have one too many
players on the
players
field.
in.
Oh, twos. Yeah, okay.
I've seen a Ned Reeves. I've seen a McGuinness.
Yep.
Guys that I like. I've just seen like a Josh Ward. I know he's played enough footy now, but if Will Day's playing, doesn't look like Lloyd Meeks out there, does it?
No, Meeks out.
So
dropped or is he injured?
No, he's injured.
Okay.
Yep.
You wouldn't be dropping.
So the outs for Hawthorn, Impey, that's a big out. Meek, Gunston, Bruce, and Hustwaite was dropped.
Right.
So Gunston's probably leading their goal kicking at the moment, isn't he? He's been the one that's been hitting the scoreboard. Meek's obviously a really important one. Bruce has probably been rested, I think, and Impey's got an injury. So Impey's still, at the end of the day, like one of those like premier ball movers. Next one on my list I've got, Flanders, third in Gold Coast Best and Fairest last year against Dylan Moore.
Dylan
Moore. Flanders is one of the worst ball users.
I agree.
He's awful.
I thought that would...
Ainsworth hits a
yes,
snap.
For half a second, I thought that was Flanders as soon as I said that. I got panicked a little bit.
He butchered it inside 50, but it worked out.
Yeah, like Flanders will get 35 touches, but only 7 of them will be effective.
That's why I thought it was crazy to put him to half-back last year.
Yeah.
I never thought that would stick. He just picks up the ball and wastes it, essentially. Okay, so everyone's going Dylan Moore?
Yes.
Yep. I thought that might have got a little bit more back, but clearly not. I'm a Dylan Moore fan, of course. Next one I've got Rowell, finished 4th in the Gold Coast Best and Fairest, and I've got him up against Newcombe, who finished 1st in Hawthorns.
I would prefer Matt Rowell. Tough, fast, explosive. Feel like Jai Newcombe, they're probably cut from a similar cloth, wouldn't you say, Dylan?
Well, that's why I put them up against each other. It's interesting, though, that Newcombe finished 1st in the Hawthorn. Not that this is everything, but like he finished 1st in Hawthorn's Best and Fairest. They finished top 8. Mm-hmm. Gold Coast didn't make the finals, and Rowell finished 4th. So for that, like obviously for that season, that would sort of suggest that Newcombe had a better one. I know it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. I feel like Rowell this year has gone to another level. Like last year, he was a bit, I don't know, felt like Anderson sort of had a better year than old mate Rowell last year. Where did he finish in the
Ando finished 5th. So one behind Rowell. I still think there's like both Rowell and Anderson. There is an argument that they still haven't fully blossomed. Like I thought Anderson at this stage would be, I know he's like really high level, like don't get me wrong, but I thought he would have gone to like a slightly higher level again.
Who is he? Like
what sort of player?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. In my head, he was like a couple of years ago, he was Finn Callahan.
Wow.
Like he was that type of player, like tall midfielder,
mover.
pace, a mover. Yeah, someone with a lot of athleticism and could use the ball really well. I don't think he's like as explosive.
Yeah.
So he's not really a tackle breaker. He's still super creative. And having that bit of extra height, I don't think he takes a lot of contested marks though for someone that has his height.
He doesn't feel like he plays with a big frame. He's a bit of a Kevin Durant type for the NBA fans.
You certainly want the ball in his hands, but yeah, probably just hasn't for me gone to the level that I would have expected him to by now. And he's probably slightly been, you could say in the last couple of seasons, he's probably slightly been in Rao's shadow. But Rao's got a lot of flaws to his game. And I think in this head-to-head between...
A lot of flaws.
Yeah, I think Rao and Newcomb, they're not the perfect players, are they?
A lot of flaws. Talk to me about these flaws.
Mostly...
Might as well call him a hotel. A lot of flaws. I'll be here all night. Put it there.
No.
Come on.
This is what Druzy just continues to do. It's so childish.
We're not even a quarter down yet.
3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Gold Coast absolutely dominating this game.
That's right. Jesse will be here soon, and he's much older than me and more childish than me. So I look forward to that.
So what's Woody said here? Harry Joe says Rao, and Dylan Moore is easiest so far.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Woody says, I feel like Newcomb would lock down an opponent better, but Rao would do more with it. See, I don't think Rao's a very good user of the ball.
I was going to say it's almost like the other way around for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would agree with that it would be the other way around. I would say Rao, like the thing that Rao gives you is he can win that stoppage and then has that burst to be able to like break a couple of tackles. Newcomb sort of does have that. He probably doesn't have the speed of Rao though, does he?
Doesn't have as many gears, it feels like.
Definitely doesn't have as many gears. Chunky though, hard to tackle and a good handballer, like a creative handballer. I think he's probably a better handballer than what Rao is. But yeah, Rao definitely that higher physicality. You'd have to say probably overall that Rao is the bigger upside player.
Yeah. Newcomb just a bit more polished with his skills and in front of goal, probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
It sounds like this is it for Newcomb, while Rao could become a top 5 mid in the comp.
Yeah.
Like, it does feel like this is it.
I don't think we're ever... I suppose the point for me with that type of midfielder, that pure clearance guy, like I don't ever see that player as like the best in the competition, like largely down to their role. Just because of not their role, because players can use the football, but like that guy that can't kick, I don't see that as being a player that will ever be in the top 3 or 4 players in the comp for me. Like I'd have players like Bont and Dacos and Callahan and Richards and these... McRae. Yeah, exactly. Those types of players. So who are we going? You've got to bring them in. Let's just do it. You've got to bring them into your team and then you'll get a little bit more real about it, I'm sure.
I think I got to go Rao.
Yeah,
purely for that upside.
I'm going Rao too.
We're going the Ralster.
And I think the comments agree with us there.
Oh, Scrimshaw plays on after a tough contested mark. They want to get a bit of pace on the ball here, the Hawks. Ginnivan kicks it into the pocket.
It's a good
Wizard! Oh, that was a cheeky little chest mark there.
I like that, yeah.
Clear directive there. Move the ball faster. Take the mark. Play on. Catch the defence off guard. Over to you, Dylan.
Kai Broom has asked the question, are Hawthorn in fraud territory for flag potential teams? As in their true position is 5th to 8th, Druzy.
I said it last week, Dylan. This league is for Geelong, Collingwood and Brisbane.
It's for the...
We're all just a part of it. Every other team's just taking part. Hawthorn. Oh, well, Watson, Wizard, has pulled out some magic and he's hit this one. Maybe I should do that celebration.
Yeah, the
Drew Petrie.
Frank the Tank.
Oh, Frank the Tank.
Frank
Who's that?
the Tank.
I've never seen that.
That's from Old School. You said you liked those movies. Watch Old School.
Right.
Oh, my God. That's a classic.
Anyway, I'm going to do that. That's my celebration.
Will Ferrell.
All right.
Frank the Tank.
I like Will Ferrell. Great goal from Nick Watson. What was I talking about before that?
We were talking about Hawthorn and fraudulent behaviour.
Geelong, Brisbane and Collingwood's league, I feel like, not on fraud watch. They will be their semi-final, prelim final weekend for me. Maybe even grand final. I think they're a bit of a wild card in a league made for the older. Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Like, your premiership favourites are the 3 I've just mentioned. What do you think, Nath? Where do you think Hawthorn sit in the grand scheme?
My opinion is they're a bit... I've actually never really thought about it because I've kind of just always... As soon as battle went, I've kind of just tried to ignore them.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I think Hawthorn, I think their peak would be 4th. That's probably where I would put them. But their floor, I think they can absolutely stink it up sometimes. And it could be anywhere as low as 9th or 10th.
Have they had a really bad game this year, Hawthorn?
Have they had a really bad game? I do feel like one
Port.
of the... Yes.
That was a stinky one.
Yeah, and that was off the back of that. Obviously, that's a big game for them with that final and everything. Yeah, they really didn't get up for that game. I do think that they're with Will Day out of the team, they're like a star midfielder short. I think that's a too big of a player.
Like a genuine star.
Yeah. And I know you could come back at me and say, well, he wasn't there for the finals last year either.
I was even thinking about just their forward line. Because I'm not a huge fan of Chol.
No.
I'm not, obviously, Bruce and Gunson are getting on their stars, but they are getting on. They can't rely on them forever.
Yeah. I think with Hawthorn, it's more Charles just there to bring the ball, literally just to bring the ball to ground.
They've got Mitch Lewis. He just came to my head, but he's perennially injured.
Well, if they get... Yeah, Mitch Lewis and Cal Shadir in, they're sorted. Jasper Scafie's playing in the 2s as well. WA product out of the Falcons.
Mid-season draftee, I think. Might have been pick 3, was it?
I'm not sure. I worked with him back in the day at the State Academy.
Really?
Yeah, I used to help him with his set shot.
I think he was pick 3 because Hawthorn would have been third bottom at the time because they lost all those games at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, big up the Scafinator if he's watching at home. I'm sure he is while the Hawthorn game's on.
Pretty much everyone said Rowell in the Rowell versus Newcombe, but Harry Joe said if you asked me last year, it's Newcombe.
Yeah, that's
and he did
fair.
win their best and fairest.
Anyone from that Hawthorn team, you would have been like, yeah, I want them.
Yeah.
Sydney versus Carlton tomorrow. That's a big game. We got 42 watching the stream. We are at quarter time. Suns leading by 20 points. I actually thought Hawthorn looked... I don't know, seem to have more field position there. Feel like if they just move the ball a bit faster in these conditions, it will favour them. Great goal from Nick Watson. Feel like the Gold Coast goals sort of came from counter-attacking efforts. Bailey Humphrey kicked a really good goal. What did you make of that quarter, gentlemen?
I feel like there was... sorry to cut you off there, Nathan, but I feel like there was a couple of really big centre clearance goals from the Gold Coast. You talk about those players, Rowell and Anderson, just getting on top from the centre, but I think you probably nailed it pretty well. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't feel like Gold Coast are a 3-goal better team, 4-goal better team.
No, there was like
3.5. Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like that. I feel like as long as Hawthorn just kind of tied it up, they can almost run over Gold Coast because
I feel like it was for Gold Coast. It was moments, right? It was like the Bailey Humphrey goal.
Yeah,
that was a massive one. Walter missed that goal, but took a huge mark. It was a bit of a moments game. 18
inside 50s to 14, favouring the Suns. Suns winning clearances as well. I think Hawthorn... We probably streamed Hawthorn games as much as anyone this year.
Yeah, they get a lot of the prime time slots.
And I feel like, if they're not a team that if they don't show up one quarter, they won't show up the next. Not that they didn't show up that quarter, but that GWS game particularly stands out. I don't think they kicked a goal in that first quarter, and by halftime they were leading the ball game. So
that's pretty much Hawthorn's mantra is they kick a lot of goals very quickly.
Yeah, they pile it on.
I'm going to play a game with you guys right now.
I love games.
Who was the highest disposal getter in the first quarter?
Rowell.
Incorrecto. You may never get this.
Rioli?
No. Close, though.
Noble?
Yes.
Euland. Oh, I didn't even see him.
I saw him a couple of times. But
Craig McRae.
I did.
Ah.
Rowell is next. Who was the top getter from Hawthorn?
Scrimshaw.
Sicily.
No, but you're in the right area. So the defence is having a lot of ball from
Battle?
both teams. No.
I didn't see Battle at all.
More of a distributing type.
No.
Distributing defender from Hawthorn. It's not Jath. It is... I need to look at a field lineup.
Yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank here.
Amon.
Yes, correct.
Amon! I haven't seen Amon or freaking Noble.
I feel like I didn't see Amon either. Some other kind of big stat getters in that game. Anderson had 3 clearances, which were pretty big ones. He had 222 metres gained. I think that's the thing with Anderson too. He's just, because he's so much better on the outside than, say, a Rowell, you get that extra ball carrying as well. And if he's using it better, I just think that kind of player is more important overall.
So what do you think of the positioning of Noah Anderson then? Do you think he's better suited to play on the outside, or do you think you want him in the middle? Do you want that slickness in the middle of the ground? Is he tough?
Is he tough? Yeah, I think there's probably an argument that there has been some big games where he hasn't stood up. I think that's fair. Oh, there's that Walter Mark again. I think ultimately, though, you do need, like, at least in a midfield three, you need one of those guys that's pretty polished with ball in hand. Like, whether that becomes for the Gold Coast Suns, like whether in the long term that ends up becoming like Bailey Humphrey, sort of playing that like forward mid dusty role, but you're probably still going to need Anderson to go in there. Mm-hmm. I like his height in there. I think those players that have longer limbs and are a little bit rangier in there that can kind of tap the ball to advantageous areas is important as well. Kind of what Bontempelli does for the Dogs.
Roger. Highest AFL fantasy player. Is that what you just said before?
Highest AFL fantasy?
Noah Anderson right now. On the ground. Is it? Fantasy points. Noah Anderson is leading for those playing along at home.
Get in the comments. Let us know if you've got Noah Anderson. I want to go back to this head-to-head because I love these head-to-head player battles.
Go on.
All right. So my next one. And get in the comments here too. Tell me who you think. I did Rowell and Newcomb. Mm-hmm. So at the moment, it is 2-2. Hawthorn Gold Coast. The next one is Anderson versus Day. Anderson finished 5th in the Gold Coast Best and Fairest, and Day wasn't in the top 10, probably due to injury again.
Yeah, my thing is the best ability is availability.
Yeah.
And Will Day is just constantly
unfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give me Anderson.
I'm taking Will Day.
I'm taking Will Day as well.
I think the moments that he produces...
Just go home, man.
No, I can't do much from the interchange bench.
You couldn't get a better head-to-head player comparison, though. Will Day versus Noah Anderson. Like, that's a perfect match, right?
So I'll say what player is he before, and he is Will Day.
For me, the thing that tips Will Day over, it's the, becoming such a force when the game demands it. Mm. So I just think that's more important. And I've seen Will Day do that consistently, albeit fair call on the injuries because he's unfit a lot.
Yeah, healthy Day versus Anderson. I'm taking Will Day every day.
Yeah. What do people say in the comments? Oh, Ben Johnson says Anderson. He's with you, Nate.
There we go.
That's fair. And for that reason.
Yeah, there's
maybe I just don't see Will Day enough. Like, obviously when he's on, he's great. I think I love a bit of consistency. And maybe he's not the guy who can do it all season.
I like high upside. I'm a draft guy.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is maybe I just haven't seen enough of him.
Yeah, fair.
There's a handful of players in the league that can just really take the game by the scruff of the jumper and
who are they?
Well, Will Day is one of them.
Jack McRae.
Jack McRae's not.
No, he's not. That is. Don't even say that as a joke.
Not funny. Not in my flat.
Not in my flat. Will Day.
Mine goes straight to Isaac Heaney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rankin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bond would be there. Dacos would be there.
I'm going to say Finn Callahan this year. Okay. Did you see his game against the Cats?
Nah, see, I didn't watch that.
He was
hot.
So, like, the way that he can just turn on a dime and just everyone's going one way and he just shifts, and the size of him, the explosiveness, he can kill you.
Harley Reid can be that player.
Yes.
But hasn't shown it enough in a shit team.
No one can show anything in that West Coast team.
Is it fair to say, though, like, when you say hasn't shown it enough, he's been poor this season, but he's only played 30 games. Like, he probably has shown it enough.
He probably has, just in a struggling team. You know what I mean? Like, the best example of it was the first derby that he played in, when he got 3 votes, kicked 3 goals, had 20 touches, and just made us look like little boys.
Yeah, and that Melbourne game, that was crazy. Like, that was one of the more crazy things I've ever seen. Dustin Martin was that player.
Well, how long did Dusty take to? Yeah, he didn't start reaching until he was 26.
He wasn't crushing games. Like, there's definitely an arc there. And I think that type of player, the player that does break tackles and is a bit more physical, like a Harley Reid.
They need the body first.
Exactly. And there's definitely a transition period when they come to the AFL of, like, they were knocking around boys and then they're coming up against athletes, really. I'll go to the comments section again. Who is the high upside player of this year's draft, says JG. We're about to get underway in the second quarter here. Witsy up against, that's Reeves, isn't it? Who is the upside player from this year's draft? Any thoughts? Oh. What's Mitch Finn saying? Any thoughts regarding above? I don't know. Not sure on that one, Mitch. Upside player in the draft, I would have to say Highest
What does
upside.
that mean? Like a player that's not going to go high that has a lot of potential to be a star?
I suppose so.
Well, because my thing would be like it would be Alex Tarou. Probably has like
He would
from last year's.
he would be considered.
But he was still a top 10 pick.
I think the one. This is going to sound this is going to sound weird. I think they more mean like which player right now maybe isn't in that sort of like top end discussion, but has a lot of AFL upside.
Hardwick, bang. Sorry.
Like I'd say last year it was probably Sam Lawler, who ended up going one. But he was the most high upside player in that draft. He was like, a lot of people, even probably a month out from the draft, were still saying like he won't go in the top 5 because he's averaging like 11 touches a game. Because he was that kind of like forward mid hybrid, where your Jagger Smith types were putting down.
You probably just look at whoever Richmond took last year, and that was your high upsides.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went pretty hardcore on it. I mean, you guys did too, really, with like Chevalier and Tyroo.
Is Travalia like a Will Day Anderson
Yes.
type?
Yeah, no, well, my comparison for him was actually Chad Warner, but the majority was Will Day.
Yeah.
He doesn't like at the moment. You wouldn't say he's got the explosiveness of Chad Warner.
He just looks like a young Will Day, doesn't he?
Yeah, I literally made a video up to the draft calling it saying Will Day 2.0.
Yeah, right. Little gangly legs.
Yeah. Here we go.
Gangly yet explosive.
Here we go. Nuke.
Duke Nukem. Hawks have the first of the second quarter. Quick response to get the second term
Will
started.
Powell's a good player, isn't he?
He is. He's an underrated little number.
I still have to answer that question, don't I? High upside player of the draft. If you want like one of the top guys who I think has a lot of upside coming into the AFL, I'm going to say Sam Grill.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Because I've been pronouncing it grr.
I think
For
the
the
first
last 2
time,
months.
the first time I ever said his name, I pronounced it like I got really creative and went. I could tell it was from like the Balkans. I'm like maybe it's like Grillich or something, and I
Yeah.
added in a bunch of other like sounds. Yeah, and it's just grill.
Grill.
That's a definite one.
Where's
so,
the RILL in the ribs then?
what?
What? Over to you, Dylan.
Lack of vowels. There's aim on again. Kicks long. They've been forced into that one a couple of times, and it's Will Powell. Those medium defenders.
Can he play midfield as well?
I think he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He's
No, like,
Not
has
that
he?
Gold Coast team though.
no.
Hey? No, but I feel like has he not played midfield? Like,
He may have like.
I feel like in the Melbourne
spurts.
game he was everywhere. Maybe he was just intercepting at halfback and they were high up the field, but he was unreal that day.
Yeah. No, he's a really high upside player, I would say. I'll go and have a look and see if
That's
he's had
got
many.
the makings of a buzzword. High
Yeah,
upside.
but I was about to say that.
No rebuttal so far, Dylan. You're doing well.
No, I'm keeping that. No
Locked and loaded.
Kernow.
No Kernow. No need to
No
talk
Saint
about
Kilda.
Kernow.
It's St Kilda.
Bro, it's one of those words like, I don't know, what's another word that's just shortened because everyone knows what it means?
Oh, hang on, Mitch. Okay, Mitch Finn, who said, any thoughts on the above? The question I sent above was, are there any generational talents in the...
Just skipping the St Kilda question then, are we?
We are. 2P25 draft are worth taking for my AF keeper league. 22. Does he mean the mid-season draft? Just, Mitch Finn, one more question to you. Do you mean the mid-season draft? If you do, I'll get back to you on
Spell
that.
it out so that a 10-year-old could understand.
20
Not that Dylan is a 10-year-old, but it does help to run questions through ChatGPT for readability sometimes. Over to you, Dylan.
It does. We're back here. So Sicily's got the ball in the defensive half, as he usually does. Weddle was good there.
He's everywhere, Weddle. Shame he's not kicking it to his teammates. Over to you, Net. No, I need to stop that.
Wits. Where do you put wits in the sort of ruck conversation? Seventh.
That's probably accurate.
I know. That's why I thought you were serious.
That number just came to me in a vision.
I feel like he's such a solid ruckman, but very no frills.
Let's play a
He's
game.
just kind of like Dan Curvis, just kind of like,
Yes.
you know what you're getting,
Yeah.
but he's not going to win you games.
I
He's not going to win you a game.
No.
Can we play a game of let's name better ruckman than Jared Witts?
Yep.
Doesn't have to be in order.
There's
Cherry.
the $1.7 million man.
Cherry, who's that?
DeConing.
DeConing.
Jerry,
Jackson. There's three. Come on, Jackson's better than Wits, bro. Come on
if there was an open draft, I think I'm taking Wits.
Oh, my God.
It depends what the conversation is again, though. Do you want do you want a system ruckman? Because you're probably getting...
I'm not engaging in a stupid conversation like this right now.
So
Luke Jackson is a generational ruck talent. Plenty of upside. Buzzword.
Are we talking about right now or for the future?
Right now,
Luke, 30.
Right now, Luke Jackson's better ruck than Jared Witts. Don't get it twisted. He would have been leading up BNF before he got injured.
I would take Jackson. 100%.
That's not even a question. That's not a question. Wow, the game's ruined.
You got your wits about it.
Kids crying. Thanks a lot.
What you say? One little thing bad about Freo.
Yeah, and I'm sensitive about that topic right now.
Druzy has a shit fit.
Yeah, I am.
And he called you a victim.
I mean, we are perennial victims. So
high ball inside 50. Chol. We sort of went side with the flight there.
Will Powell is on. This is a redemption game.
All right, anyway, back to that game. So are we taking Jackson over Wits? Come on now.
I'm taking Jackson.
We're taking Jackson. So we've gone Cherry, De Koning, Jackson, Gorn.
I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know if I'll take Rowan at the moment.
No, I wouldn't.
Not
I definitely wouldn't.
On his date, obviously, but this year's been pretty average.
Gorn's been pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You mentioned him. Sherry, we've said Decam.
Is Nank?
I would take Nank. I love his work
Nank
rate.
over Wits?
Yeah.
I don't think I would.
Okay, so maybe we reserve that one. Darcy Cameron.
That's probably going to... people will come at me for that one because Nank's like a premiership ruckman. Nank is good. I don't know. They're about the same, aren't they?
That's what I mean. It's the perfect comparison.
Yeah.
So we've named 5 definitives, and then you go like Nank and Wits, and it's around the 7 mark. So off the cuff, very good from you, Nank.
You were actually right. You had a good feel. Would you put Meek above him?
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
No.
Not at all, really, I don't think.
But similar... I reckon Meek's a similar player to Nankervis.
Do you notice that rucks are getting more of that sort of shape? There's less of those like really skinny ruckmen.
Don't say that. We're about to sign one for $2 million.
Well, a good example of that.
Skinny.
No, but he's definitely not a tank.
No, he's pretty physical though. He's pretty combative. TDK.
You think ruckmans are becoming more of what?
Like bigger bodied.
Like fat?
Oh, not fat.
Body fat more? Or like...
Withstand the hits that they...
Basically
being lanky,
basically judged on like from a recruiting point of view, judged on like physicality more than athleticism. You need athleticism too, but like body composition, like size, power to weight sort of thing.
Someone just commented, Sean Darcy fat.
Yeah,
I didn't say it. It was Ben Parsons.
He is probably more of like in that sense. I think it's the ruck rule change, which happened like 2024, where you were like, you could put your arm up, which stopped players like the Nadanuis, for example. Like there's less of that type of ruckman that goes and like sort of jumps at the ball.
Someone else commented Wits is better than Jackson. Wow. Yo, Dylan and Druzy, please explain. Jesse hasn't uploaded in 2 weeks. His round 9 and 10 tips haven't been uploaded. Just checking if Jesse is okay. I didn't even realise that. But I can confirm that the True Footy Enterprises Party Limited will be...
Can you get to the point, Druzy? What the...
Will be a 3...
I was really thinking, I'm like, what's...
I was getting there until you rudely cut me off.
By the end of the quarter?
True Footy Enterprises Party Limited 2024 copyright, 2025 copyright.
We are on a time budget here.
We'll be a 3-man band by the end of the month.
3-man band. So Jesse is fine.
I don't know that far, but I know his YouTube channel is going to be great around the 28th of May.
Okay, so I've got some draft-related questions coming at me, I think, here. Who's looking like the number 1 pick for the mid-season draft? Who's West Coast taking? So I think it'll be... I don't feel like it's as clear-cut as it was last year. I think Sam Toner is right up there. I think Zach Harding is right up there. So Sam Toner... kind of little hybrid forward, 184 centimetre. Zach Harding could be up there for West Coast too. He's a young, he's 19, a ruck, 200 centimetres, and probably fits what I'm saying, like that kind of bigger body type ruck. We had another one too, worth taking in AFL Fantasy Keeper League. I'll have a think about that one. Kai says Fiorini is up to 9 touches. You never know.
Great ball movement through the middle of the ground by the Suns. How's the foot skills of Touk Miller? Top of the goal square. Walter's sitting under it. Can he get there? It's a breakout game, but it's an almost game. But he keeps it in. Long goal. Assist. Wow.
Ben Long.
That's your All-Australian small forward right there.
Yep, there he is.
Woody said
Did the ball cross the back off the line before it was handball, Jed Walter? What do you say, Nath?
Not sure. Here we go. Well, didn't touch. Oh, did it touch him off the boot?
No,
he's claiming it straight
surely
away.
not. That wasn't what the umpire wanted to check, though.
They check everything.
Yeah, right. So this is what they need to check first, though, because this is what the umpire.
Did it?
No,
that's
It's fine. Yeah.
All right, ball to boot.
Oh, that looks touched.
I think that's touched. Yeah.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah, he's touched.
Has it?
Yeah, the fingers go.
The
fingers do the little splayed fingers.
I want to see it from another angle, personally. Bring back the 4K TV, Dylan. We need it. Oh, yeah, you can see the
It's more like his hand must have touched it because.
Go back to that angle. That angle.
That's not definitive.
No, it's not.
And almost the boot blocks the path of his hand from this angle.
I think it's going to be umpire's call.
What was
Which
it
was
given?
a goal.
Which was a goal.
Soft goal, yeah, goal.
Yeah. It's not definitive, yeah.
It's a big call in the game, though.
Wait, the commentator just said there's technical difficulties in the. Oh. Wait, but that's not what we're looking at.
They still need more time.
They said we need more time.
Yeah.
They said decision on the scoreboard. We need more time.
Please.
Nah, it's just going to be a goal. Umpire's call.
Umpire's call, yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
Which was a goal, yeah.
Best small forward in the comp?
Lockie should. No.
I'm saying he's Ben Long.
I thought that was
I'm being a bit
question.
facetious. I don't think he's the best small forward in the comp. He's playing well, though.
I think it's Paul Curtis.
Yeah, I mean, before
he does everything.
Before the suspension. Yeah.
Even still, like.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie Elliott's having a sort of a career season, isn't he?
He's almost a medium forward with how he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like small in stature.
Well, that's what you want from a small forward, that they play with aura and a bit of...
Yeah. I actually reckon Paul Curtis is bigger than Elliott.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, he would be. He'd be taller.
He
He's
doesn't...
stockier. I don't know about height.
I think he's 185.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul Curtis doesn't
He's more
cross
of a
me as a
medium
short.
forward.
Yeah, but that is a small forward these days, isn't it?
Dylan, question.
Yeah.
Have you been to a North Melbourne game this year?
No.
Are you going to go this weekend?
Where do they play at the G?
Yes, against Richmond.
I wasn't going to.
North
no.
have a G game?
That's a good game to go to, I reckon.
Because we could win.
Yeah, and it's at the G, and you support North Melbourne, and you live in Melbourne, and you should go and support your team.
It's the hope that kills you, though, isn't it? So this game.
Nice day out.
Yeah.
You haven't been to a North game all year.
No.
He hasn't been to a North game in like 5 years.
Remember though, I follow the draft and go
You're
to...
a North fan, bro.
Yeah, but what am I going to do?
This man has a tattoo of his club on his arm.
If I miss the game...
I literally bled for this club.
He bled for this club.
How am I
I cried for mine.
How am I supposed to give the draft information to the people?
That's secondary to your passion.
I'm
for
not,
your club.
I'm not a North Melbourne fan channel. I'm a draft channel.
Yeah, but you're a North Melbourne. Oh, what a shot.
What kick.
Oh, that's the
that?
Closey.
Huh?
He kicked, I think, 3 against them last time.
That was closey to... No, that's the sum.
I'm not going there.
Who invited this guy?
This is
Oh,
my,
yeah.
this is my thing, bro. Oh, it's Dylan's thing. But it's
A
also my
couple of
thing.
people are chucked in with a small forward discussion. Jack Higgins.
I didn't want to say it because, again, I'm trying to...
Now, be biased, but just be biased.
Yeah, no, I do think Paul Curtis is number one, but I would have Higgins over Elliott.
Yeah.
Then Elliott 3.
So,
I would...
are we forgetting anyone? Because I haven't planned this, so I haven't
Cosy
actually...
Pickett.
Yes.
Cosy. Has he played enough games?
No.
Wait, for what question? Who
Best
was
small
The best small forward.
Yeah, well, I would say Cosy Pickett's the best small forward in the AFL.
He's still
No,
inconsistent.
who's been the best this
Oh,
season?
who has been the best this season? Well, yeah, Higgins is right up there.
I think, you know, small forward, like, especially nowadays, you want to do it all, and that's why
Yep.
Curtis and Higgins do stand up. Elliott,
Does Higgins defend?
He does now. I've never seen like man run faster than he has.
You can't play in a Ross Lyon team and not defend.
Yeah, no. I think he got a massive kick up the arse.
Flanders.
How much space coming out of the stoppage?
He's
Gold Coast
playing
are
touch.
running away with it.
Yeah.
God, someone should have put a bet on for them to win by 45 plus.
Supercoach Hub says, how shocking is Cloesy's arm sleeve? Didn't notice it, but I'll have a look at that.
I hate Humphrey's sleeves. Because one of them's like a half one. It's like, you got to go the full thing.
Okay.
That's coming from a guy with a giant stick man on his arm. And I've got a really crappy Ralph tattoo as well.
I don't take that much notice of tats. I suppose like sometimes if there's a really like obnoxious one.
I feel like Bailey Humphrey is just getting his pre-order in to play for Collingwood. That just looks like a Collingwood player.
Yeah, they've had a lot of sleeves over the years, haven't they?
I feel like they just get sleeves because they play for Collingwood. Like, Beau McCreary never looked like a player that needed tattoos all over his body. But, each their own.
Yeah.
It's like Geelong, you get a farm.
Yeah.
At Collingwood, you get a free 2-hour session.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They must have an in-house tattooist.
Suns are cooking right now, says Ben Parsons. They
What
certainly
are they
are.
cooking?
Warple.
God.
What was that?
Like, none of it's been clean.
Hey?
Like, they've had that one passage, but besides that, I don't think like it's been like a clean game.
No.
Not the way the Suns usually.
They have had some good chains of ball movement this quarter.
There is.
There's the Moyle dog.
He's going to be someone who gains an extra 10 kilos and he's going to look like a beefcake.
Who
Far out.
Who is that guy? I've never seen him in my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This is Vic Bias.
Yeah.
Not
From WA, but...
I'm from Tassie and I get accused of it. So, Moyle is he wouldn't be super young now. He'd be like 22,
Right.
something like
That's
that.
pretty-
Pretty young, bro.
For a ruckman,
Yeah.
he's basically 12.
That's definitely young.
He's probably considered like for the younger sort of developing rucks that are on lists. Like he's probably considered one of the more talented ones that isn't sort of playing because they are just running wits as that number
I feel like
one.
every year, like Collingwood and whatnot, just get linked
Yep.
with him.
It always pops up in the trade periods, dominates in the VFL. And yeah, he's had a little bit of exposure to AFL level and looks pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. Like Witts is probably 31, 32, I want to say, and doesn't look like he's going to retire anytime soon. So
I reckon he's about the 7th best ruck in the competition.
That's a good number. Where'd you get that from?
Moyle.
Just run Jared Witts was a callback.
Mac, that's gone straight through his
Dylan
hands.
Moore, how clean are you below your knees? Can you get the game on your terms?
That's
Got to be insufficient.
Wow, that happens in a half split second. Come on, boys.
One of my biggest gripes with commentators is they still say deliberate. When
Yeah.
that hasn't been the terminology to use for about 3 years.
You hold that against them.
Yeah.
What happened to incorrect disposal? Where did that go? It's not used anymore,
What
is
do
it?
you mean?
Incorrect
just
disposal.
Like when you get tackled and you kind of just...
Yeah.
The umpires give way too much benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to make... Most of them don't want to make a decision.
Because I'm a bit of a traditionalist. Try to say that again. I'm a bit of a traditionalist when you get tackled and drop the ball in any way, you've disposed of it incorrectly. And that's when I go, holding the ball or ball. But they don't pay it anymore. They give them that like, if it spills out in the tackle.
Yeah. But they did say that was going to happen. Like it's not as if they're doing it wrong. I feel like fans almost just don't want to accept that that's changed. But there's another argument about if you think it should have changed. That was a
an
throw.
incorrect disposal.
Far out. That was definitely an incorrect disposal. But yeah, the one if it's deemed to have been hit out in the tackle and just spills, it won't be holding the ball. And I think it does come down to like when the tackle is laid and whether there was prior. Because if there was prior, they'll pin you for holding the ball.
But sometimes they do have prior. I don't know. Have they just been to the incorrect disposal? Is it in the rule book still?
Isn't the official
course.
rule like holding the ball incorrect disposal? So they just play holding the ball.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. And there's also like Newcomb got pinned for a throw. That's incorrect disposal.
Yeah, but I feel like holding the ball and incorrect disposal used to be intertwined a bit. Anyway, get in the comments.
Let us know. But definitely, incorrect disposal is like a different thing, right?
I thought like when you get tackled and dispose of it incorrectly, that was incorrect disposal. Get in the comments. What we are seeing here, boys, is an an inability of Hawthorn to compete in these areas, and Charles won the ball. Handballs it inside to Ginnivan.
You've got to kick a goal from this.
Scuffed kick, but the Wizard might like this situation.
Too much on it.
It might bounce up for him. Let the boy cook. Let the boy cook.
It's still in.
Oh, you've both got sucked into the contest there.
Yeah, that's
a coach killer.
Was that Ginnivan that kicked the ball inside forward 50?
Yeah.
Never again. Never let him kick inside 50 again.
That was a spray. A jock sprayer, some may say.
It'll be filthy if Gold Coast get a goal here.
All right, Hawthorn are cooking now. Hawthorn have said, we've had enough, boys. Bang. Inside kick into the corridor.
Where the humidity
Handball receive. First option. This is better from the Hawks. Warple kicks it up and under. Watson has a lot to do. But he makes it work.
What a mark.
Over to you, Dylan.
Incredible mark by Nick Watson and up against Will Powell, who's probably got 15 centimetres on him, I want to say.
God, talk about a man that, you know, punches above his weight class. Well, whatever the terminology is there.
Polished a turd there, that kick from Warple. It was one of those ones where like you hit the bottom of the ball.
He's got it.
Bang.
He's not going to miss from there. He is not going to miss from there. Nick Watson, Ben Parsons, great mark. Absolutely.
He must have pushed him in the back to get in that position there, Dylan. Or do you think he just protected the drop zone?
Let's have a look.
We will see. We have the benefit of replay here at True Footy Enterprises Party Limited.
That's a rule
2025.
that's evolved and changed a lot over time. The push in the back rule. No, that's all right.
Yeah.
No,
Good use of the body.
Yeah.
But he does go like this. He does this motion. I don't understand the rules of the sport that I love.
That's why we love it.
No, it's not. No, it definitely isn't.
Well, too bad. Get used to it.
Because if you're a Gold Coast fan here, and I know there's not a lot of them.
Let's see from this. This is a better angle. Here we go.
Oh, he sort of just holds, doesn't he?
I think it's even the arm.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
in
it's
the
good use
back.
of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play. Kausha looks so underdone. His only stat so far is a free against. I've not seen Kausha.
I was going to say, I forgot that he was even out there.
There's a player down on the ground.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast is just waltzing the ball out of the
front
centre
of the
clearance.
stoppage. Who went down there? Did you see who it was?
That's Reeves.
Ned Reeves. Back to Box Hill, brother.
Box Hill Hospital, probably.
Yes.
What's happened? Did you get kneed?
It's just landed straight on his hip.
Oh.
Jeesh.
Oh, he's doing a Lockie Schultz, but hip mode.
I can't imagine the Darwin ground is a bit soft.
That one looked nasty.
I feel like he'll jog that one off. Yeah, he'll be right, I reckon. I'm going to back him in to come back into it. Humphrey. 5 Hawks around him, and he wins the handball over the top to Miller. Burst
get him
through the tackle. Oh,
good tackle from Sicily.
Needed to be done from the skipper.
Get a bit of handball going here, guys. Warple breaks a tackle.
They've
Ward
listened to you,
doesn't.
Dylan. Newcomb, how's the disposal? Better than Rouse. Oh, Watson playing from behind again.
Here he goes.
Watto!
The ball
Takes
handling.
the bounce. Selfishly goes
No.
across the face of his teammate. That looked like he was taking a shot on goal, didn't it?
It absolutely did.
How's that commentary?
He selfishly kicks it to the top of the square, centers it.
Come on, Hawthorn. Make it interesting.
Yeah.
No, he's missed it.
No.
Yeah.
Weddell. Oh, I love Weddell too. That's frustrating.
Weddell.
He's one they picked from in the 40s, wasn't it? Or early
Yeah.
late 30s?
Yeah, I think he might have been a little bit higher than that, but
Yeah.
Mac has gone with a barrel.
It's worked.
Freo and Hawthorn are good teams for that. I'm sure there's other examples of teams that draft late and come up with good lists, but like Luke Ryan, Brendan Cox, and Alex Pearce might have been a late pick.
yeah.
Who else? Tracy. Basically that whole list.
What year was that, did you say?
No, I'm just saying like late draft picks.
Oh, okay.
Because we're talking about Weddle, who was pick bloody whatever, 50 something.
He's just such a hybrid Weddle. Like he could be anything. Speaking of upside.
Josh Weddle. Oh, Newcomb's on his ankle.
Oh no. I would say if Hawthorn lost to Newcomb right now.
Oh, he was number 18 in the draft. He wasn't that low.
Yeah, I had this feeling he was more like 20s, but
Yeah,
18.
shut up, Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan.
Come on,
Who
Nathan.
asked you?
Don't even know why you talk.
Who brought this guy on the show? No.
I think it was
Nolan
more.
Anderson has just.
I never
finished
claimed to
on.
know my stuff.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah.
I mean, that sometimes happens though when like you think IE should have been probably a top 10 player. If you put him up against players in that draft, you think he'd be top 10, and then you're like, okay, they got a bargain. I've done that before with Darcy Wilson.
Yeah.
The same thing.
A lot of people, even in the Saints community, think we used a top 10 pick on him.
Yeah, right. Well, like I see him as a top 10 player, and I knew that he went later, so I sometimes I think that he went even more later, if that makes sense.
He's having huge second-year blues, though.
Yes. Yeah, he hasn't been as good this year.
Just his efficiency. Like, he's still getting 20 touches. He's scared to bite off the kicks.
Bit of a role change though, right?
Yeah, he's playing more. Last year was more of a high half forward. This year he's been purely on the wing.
Gotcha.
So I think he's been tasked with more
I thought
of
he
those.
played more wing last year. Interesting.
He's definitely been down the ground more.
Yeah. Gotcha. Another one for Gold Coast. Like, it's getting out of hand. Another
Just
centre
dominating
clearance.
out of the middle.
Yeah.
This scares me for next
Who's
week.
in the middle for Hawthorn right now? They need Dylan Moore in there.
There's
I reckon.
Nuke.
I don't know. He's probably already ran through there. Oh, it's just going to be a Gold Coast night, isn't it? Watch this just end up in a Gold Coast goal, one way or another. Up and under kick from Scrimshaw. Weddle's got to compete with Moyle.
Moyle.
Tambrosio, where have you been tonight, brother?
Yeah, he's been quiet. I mean, you wouldn't like to be a winger in Darwin, would you? It's not ideal.
Kausha Deer just did not look that competitive there, unfortunately.
Did Kausha play any VFL or did he just come straight back in?
Yeah, he played a few games at Box Hill. Here he is. Kausha, big 35.
Nice.
I can't say Kausha Deer without saying Kausha. I don't know.
Okay.
Just a bit of a tick I've got. There he is. Disposal for Kausha. High tackle. Well won from Dylan Moore. What can he do? 5 minutes left in the quarter. They just need to kick one to stay in it here.
Yeah.
And I hate these
I feel
games.
Like it's one of those like next goal is real important.
Yeah.
Yep. Psychologically, you'd rather be in like 30s versus 50s. Sounds so much more attainable.
Oh! Whiz.
Joe.
God, there's been some
God, he's no
flies.
Jed Walter, is he?
That was
Breakout star. Hasn't done anything since that moment.
I was actually going to say he's been...
He got a goal assist.
Yeah, he hasn't kicked a goal though. Or has he? No. Just that behind.
Sicily keeps the ball in the front half of the Hawks. 5 minutes remain. As a North fan and draft expert, Dylan, how do you feel about the Whitlock first round pick trade?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And that says it all.
Yeah, I don't think you really
Next
need
question.
to go into it anymore.
I mean, forget Matt Whitlock because it's he'll get blamed for this. Like, it'll kind of come down on him. But like, what were they thinking? We're second last on the ladder after 10 rounds or after 9 rounds. And we've traded basically pick 2 for pick 28. I just don't understand the logic. Like last year, I know they were super keen on Tyroo, but they said that they couldn't use the logic was that from North Melbourne that you can't use a pick 2 on Tyroo because it's reaching too far, right? So they didn't want to do that. But then you trade away pick 2 the following year for pick 28.
Well, Taro wasn't in that draft, so we don't need it anymore.
But that's
There's
like
not going to be any. But my favorite part is that in this year, there's actually quite a few talls.
yes,
that you could-
yes. Like it's more tall heavy for sure. So you've got like I don't know, like North fans like after that, if you like a few of them, like if you were criticizing it, said yeah, but like we're built like coming into this year, they were like it's kind of showing the club that we're like out of the draft.
But my thing is, yeah, that's fine.
So it was
and
more
dandy.
thematic.
But it's if you trade, even if you did like skyrocket up the ladder sheet and you get the 7th or 8th pick, it's still a horrible trade.
I know.
Because neither of the Whitlock twins were top 10 material, even top 15 maybe.
No, it was pick 28. So
Yeah.
that's sort of like how they were rated in that crop. Like supposedly North rated Matt Whitlock as a top 15 pick. It still doesn't like it's still a bad trade. Definitely a stronger draft last year, like depth wise, which probably brings him like a little bit closer. But yeah, it sort of like defies logic. And I just feel like when you've had as many picks as North Melbourne have in the top end of the draft, like you can take, you can go a little bit more positional. Like you don't have to take, what was it in a row? Like Sheasel, Wardlaw, McKercher, Dersma, all midfielders. Basically, like you could have gone into that other one. I love Finn O'Sullivan. He was my favourite player in the draft, but You could have just taken the player you wanted in Tyree.
No one would have judged you for it because everyone knew you guys have 7 midfielders that are under 87 centimetres.
Exactly.
You don't need another one.
Really. 100%.
Could you have traded pick 2 for something like a 6 and a 10?
So where's pick 7 and 8, for example?
Well, that was the issue, right? So in last year's draft, because of the depth, teams were less keen to do that. Mm-hmm. So you had to give up something. To trade a pick 2, you probably would have had to settle for something like, I don't know what it would have been, like what the currency would have been. Probably 2 picks in the teens, where usually, like on value, usually you'd get better than that. And North didn't want to do that again. So they had all these like principles.
Watson, sorry to cut you off, Dylan.
That's all right.
Off one
Wow! What a moment!
Watto's.
Sorry, did you just see what? I know you were talking there.
I didn't see the build-up. I just saw the goal.
Following that. So Jack Ginnivan kicks in a crossfield ball to Nick Watson in a one-on-one contest with Joel Jeffrey. Joel Jeffrey takes a great intercept mark, takes 1 step forward to play on, and then sort of plays, oh no, I don't want to play on. Too late, son. Gets tackled after he's taken the mark, stiff holding the ball. Watson plays on and kicks a goal from 50. He's the man to get them going here, Nick Watson.
I'm glad there's a replay so I can see it myself.
Mate, I described that perfectly. Why would you need a replay?
Even the play-by-play, it was so good.
He's taking over this game.
What's this?
4 goals down.
So great intercept mark. He's like, no, I'll play. I'll take it. Watson tackled stiff, right? That's probably holding the ball.
Was that ball?
Well, he plays on,
yeah.
and then Watson just plays on and goes bang. What a player!
I generally thought he did that off 1 step when I looked. I didn't realize he took a run, but
3 goals, nothing for Nick Watson.
You don't expect a player of that size to be so penetrative by foot as well.
He doesn't kick it very high. He just kind of darts it.
Yeah.
It's
dagger.
If we're speaking biomechanically, it's that he's short, stocky, lots of force in the quads, and just not a lot of need to move around the moment arm there.
You want that backswing high, right?
Yeah, well, that gives you more like angle to like force through. Science, bro.
Look at us.
Go, aim on. He's a good left footer.
Here we go.
Steps around the defender. Goes bang. That's a goal.
Yeah, Carl
I'm
Amon.
ready to do this one on Saturday. And
incredible stuff. We have a game on at TIO in Darwin. Incredible stuff here from the Hawks. They're coming back. In the comments,
hindsight is a wonderful thing, but Dersma over Watson was dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could extend that, to be honest. Dersma, like going both Dersma and McKercher over either a Watson, one of a Watson or a Curtin. Like how much would North could use like a Dan Curtin caliber player? Connor O'Sullivan was pick 10. I wouldn't mind Connor O'Sullivan, 200 centimetres.
He's turning it on, but anyone from Geelong magically become...
Yeah, and like that's another conversation. I think like these players going to teams down the bottom of the ladder, their development's much slower. It's much worse.
Tell me about it.
Kai makes a good point here. They effectively traded Caleb Daniel for Matt Whitlock plus 2 or 3 because Caleb Daniel, we paid pick 25 for him, which we ended up then trading pick 2 for 28. So Caleb Daniel's implicated.
How's the pressure though? It's been lower quarter.
Morrison probably shouldn't be in the team.
Watson's in the area.
Oh.
You say Morrison shouldn't be in the team?
Oh,
did you say that?
I did just say that. I said probably shouldn't be in the team.
I was about to say one of the least spoken about Hawthorn players. Probably the least spoken about.
I didn't know he was a thing.
Yeah.
Until this year.
You didn't know he was a thing?
No.
He's a human being. Anyway.
It's Rioli. They're getting a bit shaky here, Gold Coast. Like Rioli wasn't clean there.
But how good is his character from Hawthorn? I know they're still 20 points down, but like the game looked dead and buried. We said that they needed the goal at that moment. They've got 2 in a row now, I think. 2 or 3.
Supercoach Hub also says Caddy even as another option in that draft. Another key.
With Jamara maybe going to Sydney, how much would you say Logan McDonald is worth? Hasn't played a game this season. 2 surgeries. Future 4th.
I never rated Logan McDonald.
Wow.
Never.
Yeah, he's one of those players that you want to be good, but just doesn't. Maybe isn't made it. Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Because he's not a great mark. He's not a great set shot.
So he's shown glimpses of being a great mark, though. Get him and bang!
We are
back. How old is he? 21, 22?
Yeah.
You would hope he would start putting it together.
Key forwards always take a long time to develop. Classic cliche. Anyone can say that. But I've seen Logan McDonald play games where he has clunked like big marks, but hasn't shown it consistently enough.
Does he have the metal?
The mental.
Yeah.
The metal.
Is that what you say? The metal? Isn't that?
I thought you were making like a Wolverine joke, like Logan. I was like,
no.
I thought, and then you didn't. And you sit away, and I was like,
do you think? Do you think the skills are there, but he doesn't have the mentality to play as a key position forward?
I'm not going to try to question his mentality. To be fair,
Well, you're a psychologist.
no, I'm not. Where did you pull that from? I need a psychologist.
it's not part of Fremantle's membership pack.
No, unfortunately not. That'd be a handy addition. It'd be
One
used.
30-minute session.
Yeah.
I feel like for a key position forward like McDonald, though, it's so. I think we underrate that with key forwards. The amount of like crashing and bashing that they have to do, the physicality required, and how much they have to throw themselves into those contests.
He never should have played in that grand final. That was a terrible decision from John Longmire.
Yeah. He comes from that unusual draft as well. He comes from 2020, which was the COVID draft. And it's the one where, again, North Melbourne just took a midfielder, of course. But like recruiters didn't get to see the players play like across that season. They were basically going off like how they'd gone in their bottom age year and stuff. So
That's crazy to think about.
Well, McDonald did play his draft year. He played in one of the most successful Perth Demon sides of the last.
That's right, because they were playing right,
and he won a final. Or they made finals and made it. I think they won a final for the first time since like the 1960s, which is crazy in a state competition that it's taken them that long to get there. But it was Logan McDonald and Nathan O'Driscoll that were stars in that side, and he was the best key forward in that draft because he was doing it at league level that year.
What was he doing like at the time? Was he? Would you have called him like a marking sort of a forward? Was he taking a lot of like big marks?
I think that's what the narrative was. I think he was like a sticky mitts type operator, but I didn't watch him enough at that time. I just knew he was a gun key forward, kicking goals against men in league footy at 18.
Oh, he played league.
Yeah, so he wasn't. That's why he was so highly touted, because he was playing against men, being one of the best key forwards in the waffle at 18 years old, and then he went pick 2.
Interesting. I feel like the playing at VFL level thing can be oversold a little bit for younger players, because they're actually playing against them, like as much as they're physically men, which makes it more difficult from a combativeness point of view. The younger player, albeit at 18 years of age, should be more athletic than the VFL players and have a higher level of skill.
VFL players are washed, some would say.
Yeah, well, they're playing waffle or VFL because they don't have that ability to play. So it's an interesting one, but
the upside.
It is the upside.
There we go. That was a great end to the quarter there. Great end to the half.
This is incredible. This is back to 14 points.
Looks like the game was dead and buried there. Damien Hardwick looks like he's seen a ghost after that last 10 minutes. It's all been Nick Watson.
It really has.
He has
Dar
got
Wizard.
The what?
Dar Wizard.
Is that like a Darwin pun?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm here all night.
Can we do Harry Potter? Can we do Harry Potter things again?
No. Wait for Jesse for that.
I loved that. I had so much.
Wait for Jesse for that, because he is a Harry Potter nuff.
Nathan, we did a bit where we did like AFL players, but like which house, based on their personality, which house they would be in.
Yep.
Yeah, so who did we have in that previous one? We had Bailey Smith. We thought Slytherin.
Yeah, especially after last his antics.
Who else do we have? Darcy Moore.
Oh, he's a Ravenclaw, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's a Ravenclaw.
I think we went Gryffindor, but I think he is Ravenclaw. Interesting. Sam Taylor?
Oh, he's Gryffindor.
So I said he was Slytherin.
Well, no, it could be Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff? Yeah. I can't remember the actual things again. Like Hufflepuff was like hardworking, was it? Ravenclaw was like creativity.
No, Ravenclaw was like nerds. The smart ones.
Okay. Maybe I read too much into the the wording as opposed to just the vibe of it. Comment section. Okay, we've got a few here. Let's have a look.
Don's fan.
Back to WA to North just 5 years late. Is that in relation to McDonald? It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Back to WA, question mark. To North.
I don't want him at North.
Hypothetically, Sydney get under the King. Which tall midfielder would Sydney go for, Dylan? Well, I don't know what that means. Woody says Oscar Allen supposedly has asked to leave the Eagles for Brizzy. Is McDonald better for them in the long run?
Oscar Allen supposedly asked to leave the Eagles for Brizzy. Is McDonald better for them in
Who's McDonald?
Logan McDonald.
Logan McDonald.
The guy we've been talking about for
on
like
the
15
West
minutes.
Coast.
Yeah.
Right.
See, if Logan McDonald can't even consistently do it with a midfield like Sydney's, he's going to struggle.
Oscar Allen's a far better player than McDonald for me. Can you turn that down like a couple just while they're talking?
Yeah,
no
worries, mate.
Thanks, mate.
You don't like Kieran David King,
I just can't. As soon as they start talking, I get sidetracked and start listening to them, and then I can't concentrate on what I'm saying. That's a bad call for West Coast if they did that trade and somehow ended up losing Allen and getting McDonald right.
Yeah, it's a bad trade.
We're all on the same page there. Like, I think that's significantly worse. I think Kai chimed in with saying McDonald kicked 21 goals in 9 games at waffle level. Yeah, like I just worry about solely putting it on a player, like judging a player based on...
That's pretty impressive, though.
It's impressive, like, yeah, for sure. But, like, yeah, Jagger Smith went back and played VFL last year for Richmond and, like, averaged, like, 30.
Yeah. And he went top 3, top 4.
He did go top 3, as did McDonald. I think he was pick 3, McDonald.
Yeah, I think so.
Phillips 2, McDonald 3, I think. Wizard kicks the best. He certainly does.
What's this from Kai Broom? Can I say it doesn't sound right, but McDonald and Jamara Ugle-Hagan have awfully similar stats. Problem is that Ugle-Hagan has shown flashes of taking a game on, whereas McDonald has a higher floor, lower ceiling.
I wouldn't say McDonald has a higher floor than Jamara.
What's a higher floor?
So your base level performance.
Yeah, so
he's saying...
I was thinking he was saying, oh, no, Logan has a highest... Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. No, yeah. So Mara has the higher ceiling, but the lower floor, whereas like his McDonald's base level performance is solid.
Basically, like what you're saying is like, with Logan, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's not good enough.
Yeah.
So it's like Logan McDonald can be like a 4 to 7. Jamara Ugle-Hagan can be like a 10 to 1.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I still think there's like question marks on Jamara even when he played. Like, yeah, there's flashes where he does something really, I suppose, like fun in a way. Like he'll take a big mark, a flashy mark. But I don't know if he's like got that sort of like mongrel, consistent, contested forward where he's like getting to the maximum amount of... I don't know if he just has the hunger to be a key position forward.
You can't say yes to that. He definitely does after what's been happening.
Yeah, and it's probably... But I think even before, when he was actually playing consistently, before all of this happened, I think there was still question marks on that about Jamara. Like how that forward line... Like if you go back to Western Bulldogs when they were running like Jamara, Norton and Lob, like that's just not enough bastards of key position players in that forward line. It's too many nice forwards for me with those three. Lob's gone behind the ball. He's doing a bit better. You bring Darcy in. Darcy's a much better, like a higher quality player than all of those guys and he loves the contest. And now that it's kind of like simplified again and they're just playing players like Bont down there and Norton's probably a standalone forward, I feel like the whole thing's actually just operating better.
Yeah. Yeah, well said.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
No rebuttal?
Here, no rebuttal.
What else are we saying in the comments?
I agree that McDonald will be an above average player, going to give like 1.5 goals a game, but the top keys are giving 2.5 to 3 goals a game. Worst draft class of all time. Let's flick it over, Dylan. There was a post that came out earlier this week which compared the ladder this time last year to the ladder this time this year. Hit us with the key takeaways.
I will hit you with the key takeaways. So, yeah, it's after round 9, 2024 versus round 9, 2025. The only asterisk here is the fact that Gold Coast and Essendon have played one less game. Yeah. So there's kind of 8 extra points that haven't been.
Can we just say the Suns win that game? And we'll just put the Suns up to 28 premiership points.
We could do that. I like doing that.
Yeah.
Where's the game? Is the game being played up there?
Yes.
Yeah.
At Metricon.
Yeah, it was. Because it was part of the opening round, right?
So yes, you have to say...
Yeah. Having said that, though, Hawthorn and Collingwood, who are above the Suns on the ladder are also on 28. So their ladder position wouldn't really change unless like percentage. But let's just say Gold Coast are 4th. And last year, Dylan, they were in 10th. So bit of a jump there.
A massive jump. So the biggest movers, there's the good and the bad. So Brisbane, well documented. Everyone talking about Brisbane, how terrible they were at the beginning of last season. It came good, obviously won the premiership. They were 13th with 14 points, and now they're first with 30.
Do we feel like Brisbane are even the final product right now? They are just stacking wins. They know how to win. And it's a bit of a easy point to make, like a sexy point to make. But the best Brisbane side I've seen was the grand final side that lost against Collingwood. That I felt like was Brisbane's best form.
Yeah, I just think they have so many star factor players. Like when you look across the entire team, the forward line, what they've been able to get out of, like obviously Danaher leaves, and then what they've been able to get out of Logan Morris. He looks incredible. It's a bit quieter in the last game, but
like Kai Lohman, I feel like this year hasn't played to the heights of last year. Imagine when he gets going.
Yeah.
Imagine they get Kitty Coleman back.
Yeah, that's the thing though with those players. I feel like your Rayners, your Baileys, your Kai Lohmans, they're finals players.
Yeah, just X-Factor moments.
X-Factor moments, big contested possessions in the forward half of the ground that win you grand finals, win your big finals, that they aren't necessarily going to give you the output of the Will Ashcrofts and the Levi Ashcrofts who are going to sort of just go like run through the season, Lockie Neal, Josh Dunkley, those kind of players. But they're going to give you big moments when they need it. And they've kind of already shown in the games where like it's really been on the line, like that Western Bulldogs game, what were they down in that by like 40 points? And they were able to just turn it on, handle the moments. Like pretty incredible what they've done so far. It'd be hard to go against them. I think like back to that conversation though, Drewsy, you were having before, and you said it's Geelong, Collingwood, and Brisbane's season. I've got this thing in my head that it's going to be one of those teams from that group, from the old bastard group. Well, not that Brisbane are old, but like the kind of boring back-to-back premiership team, Collingwood being old, Geelong being old. It's going to be one of them, and it's going to be one of the sexy teams.
Hawthorn,
Gold Coast, Dogs. Who else have we got there? Adelaide.
Okay. In the granny?
In the
Is
granny.
that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll rate that. Well, last year was a bit of a boring one. Like the teams were like two just like boring sides. Well, not boring sides, but again, like you said, just like you expected Sydney and Brisbane to be there. Like neither of them were really sexy.
I suppose like Sydney on some level were on the rebound a bit. Like make the grand final in 22, lose to the Cats, have a bit of a down season. I'm trying to remember exactly what their 23 was. Did they miss?
No, they played against Carlton in the first week of finals.
And got
in
knocked
23,
out.
and Carlton.
Yeah, okay. So like like they were still like an established good team, but a little bit on the rebound after like a season off.
Yeah, but teams like Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Adelaide right now, like they are exciting because they've come up from the ashes.
And there's obviously vulnerability there, and they haven't necessarily done it on the biggest stage like a Brisbane or a Collingwood or a Geelong. So
Brisbane just cooking, absolutely cooking.
They're cooking. They're in sort of second, third gear.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like.
That's what terrifies me about them.
Yeah.
Is when we only played them, the Saints, we played them like 3 weeks ago. We were going 100%, and I reckon they were only going 75.
Yeah, and they just
whooped us.
Yeah, which I expected them to do against North, and somehow they if that game went for another 5 minutes, I reckon North would have won it.
You would think so.
The game against the draw, yeah.
How was Lockie Neal's comments after that? He was like, "Oh yeah, credit to Gold Coast. They gave it credit to North. They gave it their absolute best tonight. We were so far off it."
What do you say? He's like, "Yeah, we couldn't really play much worse." So
yeah, but credit to North. They played really well.
Yeah,
that's
but
a backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
yeah, that was actually pretty incredible. So Hawthorn are the next one. They were 15th with 12 points. Now they're third with 28.
It was just a weird start for Hawthorn last year.
Yep.
And a lot of the media pundits were putting a line through them, Nate. I don't know if you remember that, but...
Well, they were 0-5.
Yeah, but... I don't know. At the back end of 23, they sort of looked exciting and competitive. No one expected them to make finals last year. But, what Sam Mitchell's been able to do in a short time is nothing short of incredible.
Certainly. It's inexplicable with some of those things, isn't it? Where Hawthorn looked... I remember talking about the way that they were playing. Remember they were playing that really high uncontested mark game?
this time last year? Right.
Yeah, like they weren't playing that fast, direct football that we kind of saw later. They were hanging onto the ball, over-possessing it at times, couldn't move it, not making the most of their entries. Look at even their players. Like I feel like the amount of players that, if you go back to that round 5 moment where they're 0-5, the amount of players that were nowhere at that point and then have come good. Like Massimo D'Ambrosio was in the All-Australian squad. Like I reckon he was nowhere at that point.
Everyone was like, why have they taken Jack Ginnivan? He's turned out to be a really star player. Nick Watson was getting heavily criticised.
Yeah, because you don't usually take a player like that in the draft.
Yeah, and he was just butchering his shots in front of goal. But when it clicks like it is tonight, what a pick he's ended up to be.
100%. Now all of those guys look like stars. Adelaide, the last of the sort of like success stories here, they were 12th with 14 points. Now they're 5th with 24. So less of a rise, but they're definitely playing better football this year.
Is this a success story or was last year just an absolute failure? Because everyone had tipped the Crows to rise last year. They just missed out on finals and then they were disappointing. So now it's like, the Crows are now 5th, but I feel like that's sort of where they internally would have expected themselves
I also
to be.
feel though, like I watched a lot of pre-season content from like just various pundits across the AFL, and there was a big narrative that their list was shocking.
Heading into last year.
Heading into this year.
Well, it was their midfield and defence.
Yeah. Just like I think it was Hamish Brayshaw, and they were doing a pod on Backchat or something, and he was like, they have no A-grade players.
Wrong.
You
are wrong.
Incorrect.
Yeah. I feel like they've just had, and they've got who they get in. Cumming, they've got Peatling.
Huge
Neil
trades.
Bullen.
Yeah.
Huge
Neil
trades.
Bullen, that was the one I was trying to Yeah.
That midfield's sick. Like Dawson, Rankin, Saligo, licking your lips.
Phil Thorpe turning into the caveman.
Yes.
Plus you've got the...
Mark Keane has decided to become Stephen Silvani.
Yeah. Worrell is looking like one of the best lockdown defenders in the comp.
Mark Keane is he's the prototype. Someone that can play like on the smalls and the talls back in defence.
Right.
Like he's perfect. And the fact that they got him as like a Cat B rookie, incredible.
On Worrell.
Oh, Worrell.
Yeah, here's a fun fact. He was meant to be a part of St Kilda's NGA, but there was an admin error.
An admin error?
What does that mean?
Exactly. There was just an admin error between AFL House and St Kilda, so we didn't get him by draft night.
What?
Fun fact. So every time I watch him, I get a bit sad.
That's the most St Kilda story I've ever heard, eh?
Yeah.
I'm full of him, so...
There was an admin error.
Hang on. So what's Worrell's background then, if he was NGA?
I've got no idea.
Yeah, okay. But you just found out that it was an admin error.
Yeah.
He's incredible season though. Like I reckon he's in the at least the All-Australian squad. Could get into the final side. People underrate Nick Murray. Incredible lockdown defender. He's actually not playing. He's injured.
They have a lot of players who, like 2 years ago, you would have gone who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now,
Michelani. Is that how you say it?
Oh, Michelani. He's a gun. Yeah.
See, they're just all the same player for me. Like Worrell, they're all the same player in my head. And then you watch them, and then
when I watch West Coast,
I
know the names, but if I look at them, I like know who you are.
Yeah.
West Coast have the highest amount of like waffle standard players that are like older in their leadership players that just shouldn't really be playing AFL. Still, there should be like maybe 1 or 2 of those guys.
Who are we talking?
We're talking Duggan. Tom Cole. Not that he plays all the time. Like, could you put Petrocelli in that conversation? Yeah. Even like probably harsh on him because he's a sort of a club legend, but like a Cripps.
Yeah. I feel like if Cripps was at any other club...
If he was the only one, but there's just so many of them. Like, I think there's even more. Like, even you could throw like a Tim Kelly into that as well. I know he's younger, but...
He did get dropped a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
You said enough names for me, Dylan. I like that call.
Yeah.
There was a comment, we don't really have to go through it, but Mark Edmond in the comment said, Fremantle are a good coach away from being a massive threat. Who do you guys want as coach at Freo?
It's time for Ross Lyon too.
Oh, that would be...
What, do you want to get rid of him?
No, I'm just saying, you guys need a coach. You've done it to us before.
Yeah.
That would be cinematic.
That wouldn't.
I would hate that. Yeah. Oh, True Eagle chimes in with agree on all of them, but can't handle the Jamie Cripps slander being one of our best this year. Nice to know that Jesse's been in the stream.
I knew that would happen, Jesse. I knew like West Coast fans do say that sometimes. It's not like it's not a direct at him. It's just the overall thing of like all of those kind of players.
You lump him in.
Yeah. He's I probably shouldn't have, to be fair.
Producer
Apologies.
Vicar, there is a typo on the scoreboard. It is 58-44, not 64-44. Thank you for that, Tris, in the comments. Andy Munro. It's funny how we talk shit about West Coast. Jesse comes into the chat and we start talking about Adelaide Crows defence, and Andy Munro's like, yeah, the Crows defence is finally getting respect.
Do you want me to go into the negative teams?
Yes.
From the 2024-2025 ladder breakdown. So top of the list, who's it going to be? Guess. We'll play a game. Yeah, you've got the...
No, but... yeah.
You're like, bloody, I can see you looking at it.
I wasn't looking at like the takeaways bit.
Oh,
I
okay.
just looked at the top of the ladder and I was like, well, yeah, Sydney are there.
Sydney were first with
Spineless.
32 points. So they had more points than any team has this year at the same time. Now they are 14th with 12 points. Druzy and I, we said it first.
We said it first.
On the
first game
Footy.
of the year.
Yep. We said, I don't think that backline's going to hold up. I don't think those tools are good enough.
I think a lot of people have said that every year. It's almost like how Geelong's eventually going to fall off a cliff. And it doesn't happen. We say the same things about Sydney every year about how Amati's not good enough, McLean's not good enough.
Yep.
McDonald's not good enough.
Thank you.
But I think that the added herbs and spices to this, why am I actually doing that? I have no idea why I'm actually adding this. The added thing is Dean Cox comes into the team. Longmire, someone that's probably kept things like pretty stable there.
Yep.
And he's probably been an underrated coach a little bit. I think because of the fact that he's lost 2 grand finals by big margins, you start to look at that team when it has maybe like a weaker coach or a fresher coach, at least in Dean Cox, and it starts to look a little bit fragile.
Yeah. 5 less wins than this point last year.
Yeah.
At round 10.
I mean,
a team that was in the grand final last year. Lots of injuries. But
yes,
disappointing nevertheless.
Yep, 100%. The next one is Essendon. They were third.
They were too.
With 26 points.
That is bonkers.
Yeah.
To think Essendon were a top 4 side this time last year and still didn't make finals.
You think about it, you're like, okay, yeah, it's just the start of the season, but it's almost 10 rounds in. It's like you're entering that halfway point of the season, and they were in the top 4. Incredible. So they are now 14th with they're now 9th.
You say that if they win the Gold Coast catch-up game, they will be up in there with Gold Coast, Adelaide.
It is actually funny. So
they're almost in limbo.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, they were third with 26 points. If they win that game in hand, they actually go to 24 points, which is essentially where they were last year. Like it's only a draw off. Melbourne are the next big one. So they were 4th.
I can't remember them being that good early that late last year.
They must have, I don't know, they could have had an easy draw, banked some wins. I mean, at that point, we sort of didn't see the nosedive so dramatically as it's been, but they're now 15th with 12 points. So they're half the points tally that they had last year. And
second half is about to
get underway. Carlton was 7th with 24, and now they're 10th with 16. So they're 2 wins less than they were. Not as significant, but...
I think we've got a Swans fan in here. Our backline is an issue, and Cox wants to play a new defensive system. We're playing so slow. All the teams high up on the ladder play that faster brand, plus no Golden Hurts. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Definitely. Oh, sorry.
Sydney's one of the teams that's going to take Charlie McCartan.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Considering Tom's there.
Yeah, that's the link. Yeah.
Yeah. The issue will just be if any of those clubs, like you're talking your West Coasts. I would have.
No.
Oh, no. It's Flanders. It's bloody Ned.
It's hit the
He's
post.
hit the post.
I was always
can't
going away.
How did he not kick
You were
that?
saying before, well, we sort of collectively agreed that Jai Newcombe was a better disposer of the ball, and Matt Rao had just kicked one on his left at full tilt, and it almost was marked by 2 players. Over to you, Dylan. I can't speak.
So you were talking that he kicked it well?
He kicked it very well on his left foot at full speed.
Interesting. I mean, he's an AFL player. He should be able to execute those skills, Druzy.
Oh, don't freaking go for his disposal then. When it comes to debates against the bloke he stood next to at the contest here, wins the hard ball. No, he doesn't. It bounces off his knee.
I feel like that's like the 3rd time you've said something that hasn't happened.
I feel like
selfish kick to his teammate.
I feel like often watching Matt Rao, it's like watching pinball. Like he's a messy player. There's a lot going on.
He makes it work.
He makes it work. Yeah, it's like it's fun.
I'm getting what you're saying. I don't subscribe to he's a massive player. I think he's very explosive, and it makes him look like there's a lot of force going everywhere. But I
reckon he's a heavy breather when he runs.
Yeah, probably because he runs 20 Ks a game, Dylan. I'd like to see you run down a flight of stairs, mate.
It's not about me, Druzy.
I'd love to see you run down a flight of stairs and kick a drop punt, but I'm yet to see it. Yet here you are criticising Matt Rao's left-footed full pelt kicking ability.
He's a bit of a pinball merchant. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's a footballer, Dylan. I've never seen him play a game of pinball in his life.
You know what I'm saying, though.
No, I don't.
Do you get the analogy?
Nope.
Okay.
Over to you, Dylan. Bang. Here come the Hawks for the first time this quarter. Dylan Moore, Chisler.
Yeah,
Watson.
who is it? Who is it?
Give it to the hot foot.
He was in my 2023 redraft as well, and I moved him from 5 to 7. It was just a administrative thing, like moving. So he goes from 5 to 7.
I know all about those.
5 to 7. The Hawks fans were not happy with that. They were like, we'll still take Watson at 5. And I'm like, I know you would. And I even made a video about it explaining my decisions. And they still didn't like it.
Watson, tough angle. Nah, it's going to drag across.
No.
Oh. Did that go through the boundary line? It did.
A little bit of shades of the last week's game at TIO with the Dogs. Like they got out to that kind of medium lead halfway through the game, and then the Dogs reeled them back in.
Dylan, how would you feel to come to a Tuesday night Div 12 Resi's training session? Not to play, just to
train.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to rank them by draft order.
Yes. That's good content, man.
That would be good content. I could do like look at the upside,
Yes.
the skills audit.
I would have very little up.
Yeah, but I say maybe more downsides.
Yeah.
You said last week you don't have any.
Then do a player comparison for every single person.
Oh, we could do AFL comparisons. That'd be good.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'd
That'd
like
be
to
fun.
see it.
Here's Walter, breakout game. The
I'm
one
still
mark.
dreaming.
Yeah, the 1 mark breakout game.
Because he looks like he eats children.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Well done, Barras. That's a
I love
big
the way the
spoil.
players double punch. That's one of my favourite aesthetically pleasing looking.
Could he have
football
marked
acts.
that?
McGuinness.
Yeah, but you don't want him to. Just it's all about aesthetics.
Oh, McGuinness, for F's sake.
That's what he gets criticised for a lot.
Yeah.
McGuinness.
Like, that's not even when you talk about a poor kick, that's just a bad decision, isn't it?
Yeah, didn't really favour any of his teammates, that kick. 3-on-2 here. King rises and takes the mark. Wow, that is a Sam Mitchell pull your hair out moment, that.
Give us some chat talk, Druzy. I reckon we got some...
Get him out to training, says Andy Munro. I want to see you out there. We're talking about you at the Div 12 Resis.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Shake
That's
on
the
it.
least downside.
Shake on it. You wouldn't. Shake on it. Be there.
When?
Tuesday night. Any Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Next
all
Tuesday
right.
night. 7. Be there for 6:45.
Okay.
Done. Dylan Alexander.
Oh, he's flushed it.
Ben King. That is a
Bang.
beautiful kick.
That is a frustrating one from a Hawthorn perspective. Set up well and just couldn't deal with it.
As a Saints fan, does...
Don't.
No, I mean... It's not really... it's not a relevant question to ask, but because that, is it frustrating watching him do so well when you've got Max King...
In the hospital? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, at this point, we have a joke that we don't even know. Like, can we confirm that he's even alive?
What did you say earlier about Will Day? The best...
Yeah, the best availability. The best
Best
ability
ability
is
is
available.
availability.
Yes. Yeah, that's that saying.
No, it hurts. It physically hurts, but I like seeing Ben do well, being a Sandy boy.
Right. Do you have an affiliation? Is that just because you're from the area?
No, well, and just being a Saints fan, and
Yep.
it does make me cope that hey, Max could do it one day. Eventually, when he sorts out that knee.
They're different humans, though. I know they've got the exact same
build
genetic
and the exact
makeup.
same
Yeah.
but
No, but I said cope.
that
This is
helps.
how I cope.
Coping mechanism. Here we go. Who wins the hardball here? It's Josh Ward. Gets it out to Warple. There was a really concerning patch of that second quarter where Gold Coast were just walking it out the front of stoppage. Chol, little Chisler, pushed as he kicked. Enough pressure.
Here we go.
Kaushadia, smothered handball from McAndrew. Josh Ward takes on the tackle. He's
how did he get
thrown
rid of
that. He's dead set thrown that. And another kick into the pocket for Ginnivan. Did you hear Jared Waitley calling the Hawthorn Melbourne game when Cozzy Pickett was tripped and he was in the commentary box?
Sack them all.
Sack them all. That was a sack them all moment because he's got his arm pinned and he's just thrown it up and it's going to lead to we'll see, Jack Ginnivan from a tight angle, but not what you want to see.
Gee, I thought he was going to go to the check
So did I.
side.
I was
And then he flicked it back. Yeah, he doesn't look confident. They need this.
That's got good shape.
Actually does.
Not a bad effort from there.
Skinny. I didn't finish the head-to-head players. So we decided on Day, right?
I can't even remember. It was that long
You two
ago.
went,
Yeah.
Day, Isles, Anderson.
Yep. So we'll go 2v1. We'll go Day. Mac Andrew, 6th in their best and fairest versus Weddle.
Oh, Mac Andrew.
Yeah.
That's not.
Oh, wait. I think that's a good one. That was
I think
too
that's
quick.
a good one. I think that's a good one.
Really?
I really like Josh Weddle. I think
So do
He's
I.
fine. He's
So
just,
do I.
I reckon at the end of their careers, Weddle could end up with more All Australians.
You
than
said Mac Andrew, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, it is Mac Andrew. Then I'm like, hang on, no, it's not that clear cut. You could give it to Mac Andrew though.
I just think purely just on superstar talent, Mac Andrew could be anything.
I think Weddle kind of could be too though.
Yeah, he can play any position.
Yeah. So much versatility, and
I'm taking Weddle.
taking Weddle, that gives me the deciding vote, which scares me. What are people saying in the comments here? You taking Weddle or are you taking Mac Andrew?
For those at home watching along, if you're experiencing buffering, you might have to hit a little pause, little 10-second pauser.
Is it buffering?
It is. It's the second half Blues.
Second half Blues.
Because I was watching it thinking, God, this is going well. That's all right. We'll soldier on.
Mine's not buffering.
Leave it on. See how you go. If anyone is experiencing buffering, just hit a little pause.
Hit a little pause and let it go through. Who are you taking out of Mac Andrew and Josh Weddle?
I'm taking Weddle.
Going to take...
Say it. You want to take Weddle? Come on, bro. We're
I think I
friends.
do. I think I want to take Weddle. That's crazy. I didn't think I'd say that.
Well, you've just gone and said it.
The next one is Will Powell or Jarman Impey.
Will Powell.
Correct answer. Nathan?
Oh, McDonald.
I would
Great
say
kick.
Impey.
Were you really?
More.
You're
Get
contrarian.
there. More. Oh, just kicked half a step behind him there.
Powell did well there.
Jesse confirmed buffering not an issue.
I feel like Impey just has more of a complete game. But saying that it is the age difference.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, one's obviously like an
Yeah.
up-and-coming player where one's been playing for a while, so it's more of a difficult one. Impey actually finished 4th in the Hawthorn Best and Fairest.
Oh, bang. 50.
50, that's got to be 50.
Good joke here from Jesse in the chat. I said hit a little pause. So he said hit a little pause. That doesn't mean hitting your cats, people. That's funny.
Hit a little pause. That doesn't mean hitting your cat. Oh,
See, me and Jesse are on the same wavelength. Same shit jokes. It's great. That is really funny.
Simon
I liked it, Jesse.
Sadini says, "Hi, Druzy. How have you been? How have you been?"
Busy,
Let it all out.
busy and excited for a Europe trip is how I would sum it up. Chol, bang. 14-point margin is reacquired. Oh, yeah, says
Matt
the
says, "How can you compare year on year when they play different teams?"
because we like to play games.
Who are we talking about there?
Matt, he's talking about the ladder comparison. Like this time.
yeah. It's
We like to play games, and it's interesting to see how teams have progressed or regressed. That's not pointless. We like to do it because we're content creators, aren't we, Dylan? You tell him, buddy.
Exactly.
Good.
And I mean, you can say they've played different teams, but I mean, Carlton didn't lose to Richmond in 2024, did they?
No. Jesse has come up with a follow-up saying, I'm so glad Drew's got it. Would have been better in person when I could act it out with a pained meow. Meow.
Sound like Catman.
Yes. One of my prompts on Hinge is I can do a really good meow.
I'm going to guess you don't get many matches.
I've got no comment. McGuinness, how are the foot skills?
Good running.
How are the
Hopefully
handle
better. Yes,
skills?
we had the same thought there.
Kausha.
Kausha.
Yes!
Oh,
No, he's dropped it. More.
Punch it. Oh, it's not.
That's
not 15.
That's not 15.
That's not 15.
Free kick, Hawthorn.
Ridiculous.
Somebody has kicked that 5 metres, umpire. That's going to be talked about on every AFL show this week. That is a 5-metre kick. Good spoil from Sicily. Mackenzie, here is a man that you want the balls in the hands of.
That's a poor kick.
I'd like his
He's
ball.
never been a huge kick.
Bad decision.
Man, Kausha. Moore's dropped 2 marks at the top of the goal square in the last 2 minutes.
Oh.
Inside
That was a
50s,
terrible
favouring the
mistake.
Hawks.
That would have brought it back so close as well.
That's that Darwin footy.
Yeah, that soapy ball.
Greasy pig. Ball's made of pigskin, isn't it?
Oh,
I don't know anymore.
Cow skin.
not anymore, yeah.
What would it be made of these days?
I thought, isn't the
Jack
Sharon...
Walter.
Isn't it kangaroo leather? Or am I making that up?
That makes sense. There's a kangaroo on the ball. That would be Australian as. Can
Yeah.
we get someone in the comment?
Can we get Mr. Sharon?
Do. Oh, Jed. Jed's up. Morrison.
That's just, didn't even attempt to kick it then.
There's Fiorini. He's not really good enough for the AFL. Flanders getting his hands dirty. They're out here. Ainsworth. Come on.
Oh!
What?
Sicily literally
mark.
just stood there as a step ladder for
He knew
long.
what was coming. I think he knew what was about to come.
Yeah.
I think he was hoping that he's going to drop it.
I think he braced.
He didn't attempt to spoil or anything.
No, he sort of braced for contact and put his back in, which made it even easier for Long to get up.
I thought maybe CJ had to go a bit more there. It looked like Sicily was sort of blocking for CJ to come over the top.
Yep. Gee, this is make it difficult. Like
Ben Long with a medium kick this time.
Ugh.
No, he has missed it to the right.
What are we at now? 15 points. It's still gettable.
I feel like games like in Darwin, Cairns, like the longer the game goes on, it doesn't matter. Like 15 points can be 50.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you need to get it down to under 2 goals before 3/4 time.
Yep.
Amon moving the ball.
This is good
He's doing it
movement.
himself here.
Good
Got
ball.
a lot of time and space.
it's a g-
Weird kick.
yeah.
Mackenzie will gather. It's not holding the ball. Just got to make a contest here. Dylan Moore, well done.
Where do we rate Cam Mackenzie at this point?
He's all right.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of like...
It's very slick.
He's a
isn't
good.
he?
I think he's just a good link-up player. He's not really gonna like. Was it Kane Corns who came out like start of the
Kane
year?
Corns loves him.
Yeah, and he called him like a future All-Australian. I think
What a
you guys
grab.
slightly overrating him there.
Yeah. I think he's an aesthetically pleasing player.
Like he doesn't really make mistakes. Every team needs a few of those.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
he's not going to be that A grade.
How tall is he?
Not very.
I'd say like 188 areas.
Oh,
That was
you
a great
reckon,
grab
you reckon he's a
from
bit taller
Hardwick.
then? Might have a look at that. Just see how tall he is. Like, he definitely, like, he moves really well. Like, he's an aesthetically pleasing player. But I'm sort of not seeing the end product there as much with him at the moment.
Hardwick.
Yes.
Bang.
I guess
Yes.
it's almost like the hurt factor.
Yeah.
Does he hurt teams enough? Not really.
Not at the moment, for sure.
He has games where he does, but yeah, we need to see it more
yeah, he's
consistently.
188.
Really?
Yeah, he's
I
tall.
just guessed that. That's
Yeah, that was-
impressive.
21 years of age, so he's still
Yeah.
young.
Are you aware of the old YouTuber Mitch Ryan by any chance?
No.
One of the OGs of the AFL YouTube scene, best friends with Cam Mackenzie. Stopped making YouTube videos after Cam Mackenzie got drafted. Now he's just hanging out with Cam Mackenzie in the AFL scene.
He stopped making them because Cam
No,
Mackenzie got
I
drafted.
think he just fell out of love with it. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was always really close mates with Cam Mackenzie. Like, they did a goal kicking challenge like in year 12 and Cam Mackenzie was in it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Over to you, Dylan.
Interesting.
Bit
I
of
don't know who that is.
YouTube
but,
folklore.
Yeah.
The real OGs remember Mitch Ryan.
Woody's also getting a little bit of buffering. True Eagle says, must be so weird for West Coast and Freo players to train with Sherrins and play with Burleys in the waffle.
Yeah, Burleys just
actually
don't come off the foot very nice.
Full disclosure, have never kicked a Burley.
They're a bit sharper, it feels
Okay.
I
like.
have distinct memories of having a Burley football in like primary school and it
Yeah.
just always hurting my foot.
Yeah.
Like it was like kicking a rock.
It
Yeah,
feels
right.
like you're kicking like a diamond. Almost.
Okay, whereas the Sherrin's a little rounder.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What does that do aerodynamically to the ball? Does it give it more distance when
I
you
reckon
when you
it's
kick it?
easier to butcher a Burley.
Is it?
Because I feel like there's more surface area for your foot to connect with on a Sharon.
Right.
I'm not sure about the aerodynamics in flight though, but I feel like
You'd
it's
want there to
more.
be. There's our man.
Weddell Sakenmore intercept Marks and McAndrew. What do you have to say for yourself, Nathan?
Careers are a marathon, not a sprint.
And if it was a sprint, Weddell would win it because that boy is rapid. Look at him go.
Here he goes.
Mullet.
This is what. Ooh.
That's an...
No, that'll do. That'll do.
Nope,
Little
the chaos
more.
ball.
That will
No.
not do.
If it got over,
McAndrew would never.
he literally just hit a torp like 10 minutes ago.
Jesse's given us some mids after Mackenzie's draft. So Hollands, Hewitt, Clark, Philippou, Fletcher, and Ed Allen. So who's Clark?
Jai Clark.
Oh, icky. Icky. Okay, so Mackenzie. Well, that's like Jai Clark. He is not tracking too well.
No.
Kausha, left foot Chisler. Watson in the pocket. That's gone out. It just has gone out.
I would say I'd rank Philippou top there. Then I would rank Hewitt. So Elijah Hewitt. He's potentially the next best, I would say.
He's got so much upside.
Yeah, it's that like a availability, your best ability thing.
Well, and Hollands isn't really a midfielder anymore.
No, he's an outside player. Good runner. Like important to have, but I wouldn't put him above
No way.
Philippou or Hewitt or Mackenzie. I wouldn't have thought. I'd put him above Clark. I'd put him above Ed Allen. Not a huge fan of Ed Allen.
Contact there. Jai Newcomb free kick to bring it back within one kick here.
Newcomb did the old...
What did he do?
Who was it? The Gold Coast player was giving a bit of lip and Newcomb gave the...
Well, that's a free kick every day of the week, Took. Look at him. He grabs him across the face, says, put this mask on.
That's definitely a free kick. Absolutely has to be.
What can he do? How is his disposal by foot? Newcomb. Bang.
Got it. We're on here. 3 points the difference. The Hawks trail.
Oh, here we go.
And it's on.
Toughness.
Who's in there? Who's in there? Or Mac's in
Get in
there.
there, Mac.
Oh, that could
Prove
be
your
a
worth.
free kick to Newcomb. That was pretty rough, you know.
Far out. I saw Walter in the middle of that too.
Breakout game.
Breakout
And
game.
there's a fine. And there's a fine.
You're all getting fines.
Could that be this could be
I
another
actually realised what I was doing there.
Mackenzie and Bailey Humphrey going at it as well.
Yeah, we are lagging hard for Simon, myself, Woody.
Mine hasn't lagged at
Jesse's hasn't lagged either, but mine, I can't even get the stream up now on my laptop or my phone.
all. Oh no.
We need to contact YouTube HQ on this. Because first half, it was looking like incredible.
Yeah.
And it still looks incredible, but it's just...
I've cut the streaming quality back significantly. Hang on a second.
You're right. We got it. We got a game on our hands here. Took
I'm
Miller.
shocked Gold Coast got the clearance.
Well, they had patches where they were dominating it out of there. Took Miller was just unmarked at the back of that stoppage. Barras is bleeding from his eye.
Oh, he's actually... Looks like a horror movie character. This has to be a goal.
Ainsworth, bang.
Call him Amesworth.
What did you say?
Ames.
Amesworth.
Amesworth, because he's...
His aim is worth it.
Thank you. I'm glad we got there in the end.
Yeah, that was
I
funny.
thought we weren't. And I was a bit... Oh, that's a... Jesus.
Barras with... Looked like a cut to his eyebrow, I reckon.
Is he blind?
I reckon it's above his eyebrow. You can
Yeah.
see it. He's going to need stitches.
That's a...
How long would it take to
and
just...
now Battle's limping.
Oh, it's all falling apart.
9 points.
9 points is the margin.
I don't think we actually answered the question, but who would you want as Freo coach if Longmire?
Longmire.
I get him. I say the wrong one every single time.
No, I'm saying Longmire.
Oh, you're saying Longmire. I think he's off the Tassie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that-
you reckon he takes 2 or 3 years out and then
Okay.
feels, what is it, like revitalised, like Ross did?
Yeah. Or
Buckley? Buckley's been linked.
Yeah, he gets linked to every club that needs a coach, though.
I've always rated him though. I like Buckley.
So do I. I would take him, and he was Longmuir's superior before we took Longmuir from Collingwood. It was from Buckley. So you basically like, here's the source of the waterfall. Here's what trickles down. We're getting what trickles down. Like, but I don't know if Buckley would move to Perth.
No.
So
He's pretty cushy and he's...
Oh, yeah. He's a good man, Buckley. I do like him. Yeah. Or does Longmuir stay another year and we wait for like a Bevo? I don't know.
I don't think Bevo's leaving Bulldogs, especially with that list they've got.
Yeah, true. Like, Bevo at Freo would be hot, though.
It's taken him, 10 years, and he's finally figured out how to play.
Yeah. I mean, I think I do think Bevo gets harshly dealt with. The fact that he's won a premiership at the Dogs. Like, that's not like winning a premiership at Collingwood.
Like how you said that with a bit of a snark.
What's that?
Bit of a snark. He's won a premiership at the Dogs.
Well,
it's a hard
It's
thing.
like Bob Catter. When he's
no,
like,
but I mean, it does. Like, if somebody went to St Kilda now, and won a premiership with the Saints, you would probably
kiss his feet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because
No,
you just
like I've said, and they can stay as long as they want.
yeah, exactly. It's like
Just give me one.
they're a messiah.
Yeah. I would, like, if you said right now, I'll give you one premiership for the rest of your life, take it or leave it. And I would take it. Like,
Yeah.
if you would allow
My
it
dad
to
has
play
said the
out.
exact same thing, and look what that's got him.
Look, that's got
How
him.
old? What year was your dad born?
63, so he wasn't quite.
You go on.
Yeah, but like I don't. He wasn't a
Hardwick.
Saints fan then because my grandparents were.
McGuinness,
Bombers
finish your
fans.
work, son. No,
The amount of
foot's
time
healed.
Sam Collins has taken like a mark on the line.
That needed to be a goal. Just did.
What happened to the score? Did Gold Coast kick another one while I was gone?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
Ainsworth, because Barras was bleeding from the eye. They took him off. And,
Scrim nearly gave a free kick away there on Jed. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Had a bit of a look at the stream stuff. Healthy stream on our end.
It's got to be YouTube servers, man. But you go on other streams and they don't have the same issue. I don't get it. It looks fine now.
I did a little reset. I don't know. Maybe it just gets like bogged down or something, and it
Oh,
starts
that's
to.
holding the ball. Trying to rip his jocks off.
Who's got that? Is that Morrison?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The
See,
skunk.
I've just put it on, Dylan,
Yeah.
and it's just stopped. And it's just doing that. And that's what I'm getting on here as well. This is on 4G or 5G. That's 4 bars of 5G. Now it's back. Yeah, I don't know. Morrison with a massive kick coming up here.
Huge.
One for the road, heading into 3/4 time. Harry Morrison. He's had a good game. 15 disposals, 7 contested, 3 tackles, and had a goal to it. He's kicked it.
Gee, I was actually worried about the kick. Straight off the boot.
Didn't look great off the boot.
Nah. Look real shallow.
Floater.
Yeah. He's got it though. 3 points the difference. If the quarter was to end right now, who would you be tipping coming home in the last quarter?
I'm still Gold Coast.
You still Gold Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because Jed Walter's going to kick 7.
exactly.
Thank you.
My tip early days was Gold Coast by less than 2 goals. But
I was Hawks.
right now, Bailey McDonald on Cowshadir off.
Yeah,
Bailey McDonald. It was Bailey McDonald.
I actually was going through the teams today and I saw Bailey McDonald and I did exactly the same thing. I'm like, who the fuck's that?
I've
That
seen
sounds like a
him-
North Melbourne player.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen him at Box Hill. Now that I've seen him, I know who he
I've
is.
seen him at Box Hill.
Yeah.
That's the,
I have.
exactly.
But yeah, didn't recognise the name.
I've still got my list going here. Ben Long versus D'Ambrosio. Not a perfect. Oh, Anderson, the clearance again.
Schlong.
Oh,
Ben Long versus D'Ambrosio. You're going Ben Long?
Schlong.
yeah.
Ben Long?
Ben
yeah,
Long.
you have to, really, don't you? You
You
just,
just
have to.
Wow, look at that chemistry.
Miller versus Hardwick.
Miller.
Miller. Yeah. Took.
Come on.
Hardwick's good, though.
He's took in the piss.
Tuke Miller finished 9th in the Gold Coast Best and Fairest. Where did Hardwick finish in Hawthorn?
4th?
I'm going to say 5th because I can see it.
Yeah, good guess.
Thank you. I'm very smart.
We're still going Miller. Well, that's 2 Millers. I'd probably still go Miller. I just didn't think it was that easy. Wits versus Meek.
Well, this is where we need to do the rankings again.
I would take Meek.
Because of age?
Yeah. I think he's just a bit more mobile around the ground.
Okay. I thought that one would go to Wits.
I was going to give it to Wits.
I thought Wits
I
as
think
well.
even Wits' peak is better than what Meek probably is going to end up being.
Meek Monday. Nice hands there by Ward. Ginnivan.
That's out.
I had one of those last week where I kicked it down the line and it was definitely in and the umpire called it out. Pissed me off.
It does. David Swallow. Was he the sub?
Yes.
So who came off for them?
I missed that.
Barras, because he...
No, for...
Gold Coast.
Oh, Gold Coast.
There's your boy. 59 seconds to go. So we went with Wits over Meek then. Dan Rioli or Carl Amon. Dan Rioli finished 1st in the Richmond Best and Fairest.
He did too, because I was really funny with the awkward speeches.
Yeah. And Amon finished 7th in Hawthorns.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bit closer than that suggests.
Yeah.
So.
They're very similar.
I'm leaning towards Amon, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, how's the kick here? This is the kick. Bang, Hardwick.
Wow.
Who was the Hardwick? You can't compare Hardwick to
I'm going
Tuke
Rioli.
Yeah.
Just.
I think like Rioli's like a little bit more probably like bite off the back half, like a little bit more speed, run and gun. Amon a bit more control.
Better kick, Amon.
Better kick. Yeah, but probably like less meters gained.
Well, he just ran about 50 metres and took a bounce before, so he's got a bit of that in him. But Dan Rioli, that's his bread and butter. Hardwick lining up, 48-metre kick, kicks true. Oh. The Hawks hit the front for the first time off the night, right on the brink of three-quarter time.
2 seconds on the clock. This is going to be a big last quarter now. I'm excited about this because I feel like we've been gifted a game out of nothing.
100%. How's the fight back from Hawthorn? We spoke about the character that they showed in the GWS game, and we've seen it again. Nick Watson has probably been best on ground.
Yeah, by far.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think that's even close. I'm trying to think of like the Gold Coast players. I mean, Anderson and Rowell have been... Anderson in particular, I feel, has been pretty good in this game. Just get like working it out of the middle for them. Forwards have been pretty good. More of a team effort, I would say, for Gold Coast. But there was a time there in that second quarter where it was, or maybe late first quarter, Nick Watson was absolutely everywhere.
Look at the Hawthorn culture. The boys getting around each other.
Oh, they are.
They want to break the streak of 7-0.
What are we saying about... I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but what are we saying about the Gold Coast Suns if they can't close this out?
Good game. It's a good game, yeah. I don't think you gotta...
I think just huge question marks then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they've been, especially this week, the media has been calling them out as, you know, this is it. They're coming.
Yeah, well,
you know.
It looks genuine. Like, it does look more genuine this year. But
I don't think you can...
But how close can you get before you actually get there?
Yeah.
You can't keep continuously almost... Because it's just going to kill your culture.
100%. And we've seen that they're susceptible to losing to a really bottom team, given that they lost to Richmond when they travelled. So you start losing these kind of games against... Like, you would have to say that these two teams right now are sort of comparable, right? With where they are on the ladder, Gold Coast and Hawthorn.
This season, yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, like both sort of young. Like I put them in that bracket of like the up-and-coming kind of sexy teams.
Yeah. I don't think you can make a big statement about Gold Coast if they narrowly lose to Hawthorn, though.
Yeah, okay. I probably more mean it in the... I don't mean like just the result, though. More the manner, because of the fact that they were in control of this game. They shouldn't have just let that happen. So it's
Hawthorn were also playing really shit in that period of the game.
Yeah.
So I feel like Gold Coast have been there the whole game. Hawthorn dropped away a little bit and then got the ascendancy.
Yeah.
Over to you, Dylan.
I think it does. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, yeah, you do. Like Nathan just said it. You have these sort of consistent... You let losing these closer games become normal because you still get credit for winning it. You You know what I mean? You sort of you normalise losing. And it's like they will say they'll walk away from this game if they lose at Gold Coast and say, well, yeah, Hawthorn are a good team. We didn't have to win the game. But at some point,
like honourable losses. How many of them
honourable
do you
losses
have?
Exactly, and you might limp into finals or whatever.
They'll do you no favours because you will come up against a Hawthorn and Adelaide.
Exactly, and you do see that there's patterns of that with teams as they're improving, they're getting better, and they just sometimes can't get that punch through, that cut through where they beat like a team that they're not supposed to beat. I feel like that's a big one for them. We did down Rioli versus Amon. We went with Rioli, didn't we? Mm-hmm. This is going to be heavily one-sided one-sided in Gold Coast's favour when you do the count overall. I didn't have anyone for Bailey Humphrey to go up against there from Hawks. So what are we talking? We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think everyone's been hit with the buffer, to be honest.
4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 4.
What was the final score?
7-4.
To Hawthorn?
Yep. No. Gold Coast.
Wow.
Gold Coast,
yeah.
Well. Yeah. So I think that kind of stacks up with the sort of the list build that the Gold Coast are. And I reckon there were some 50-50 ones that went in the Hawks' favour.
Yeah.
Like Anderson versus Day. Some people would have gone Anderson. There were people in the chat that were...
We went with Weddle, didn't we?
We went with Weddle.
Wow.
Over Mac Andrew. That could have gone in Gold Coast's favour.
Incredible.
Ewland over Battle was probably controversial. I reckon a lot of people would go Hawthorn there.
Yeah. So but Gold Coast with more top-end talent.
More top-end talent and more to come in the draft, Druzy.
Yeah, well, that's what someone was alluding to before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the sad Tainer.
Here he comes.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry, the president's about to barge through here.
But I mean, like it's definitely a discussion point. I mean, that's going to be after this year. That'll be 7 or 8 top 25 picks in 3 years.
Wow.
In total, like that's
how many do they have this year coming through? Like top 25-ish?
3. They've got Ewland and Patterson, who I have top 10, and Bo Adensel, who is top 20. They had Walter, Reed, Graham.
There was one more. Rogers.
Yeah, so they had 4. So that's 7. And then Leo Lombard last year, 8. So 8 in 3 years.
Where's Leo Lombard? Is he?
Shoulder injury.
Okay.
He had laid that big hit on Levi Ashcroft in the preseason, and he's still out from that. This game, guys, 3 points to margin.
Yep.
What's going to happen?
I think the Hawks win.
I feel like either team is going to run away with it. I don't think it's going to be close.
I disagree with that.
Really?
It's going to be an arm wrestle all the way to the end here.
Look at the kick to handball ratio there coming up on Fox. So...
Yeah, they were very kick dominant in that first quarter. I did notice that. So they've said, stuff it. Let's go with a 1-to-1 ratio just about.
Post clearance contested possession. So getting them all contests plus 31.
Well, in that second quarter, it looked like the Suns were dominating that contest battle. But third quarter,
who are we saying for best on? I reckon Nick Watson's clear.
100%.
Gold Coast players?
I haven't really noticed anyone that's gone.
Long has made an impact. I feel like he's been the one that
He's only had like 4 or 5 disposals though.
Yeah.
I feel like he hasn't taken the game apart like the Wizard.
Noah Anderson's had 10 clearances. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah, that is a big number. I can only count to 9.
How many's Raul had? Not that he's a huge.
5.
5, yeah.
Raul's had 5. Anderson 10. 620 metres gained for Anderson. 5 centre clearances. 5 score involvement. So probably some of the bigger ones there. As far as like goals, Hardwick's kick 3 for Hawthorn. Flexible player. Nick Watson's kick 3. Ben King's kick 2. And Ben Long has kicked 2. And so has Ainsworth. So a couple of multiple goal scorers there. I just want to have a look at the team stats. Inside 50s have come right in. 44 to Hawthorn, 45 to the Suns.
Even ledger.
Even. Rising Star chat, guys. Who do you reckon it's a 2-horse race?
Give the season some time to play out. Come on.
Well,
I don't think it's a 2-horse race. Like, Levi's got a lot more footy to play. Langford's looked good, but early days was Murphy Reid. It was Murphy Reid and Sam Lawler a few weeks ago, and now it's Harvey.
Yeah, I don't think there isn't a clear cut at all. We're almost halfway through the year.
Yeah, I think the betting odds, and this is taking out the 2024 draft, but Connor O'Sullivan is right at the top. Levi Ashcroft is still the favourite.
There you go.
And Langford is third.
I feel like whoever votes for it, they're just going to get a bit lazy and we'll go Levi. Just because,
yeah.
Will Ashcroft won. Oh, did he win?
The Rising Star?
Yeah, did he win?
No, he didn't. Sheasel did.
Oh, right. Yeah, anyway, it's still like, I feel like they might just get a bit lazy, especially being so close.
I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll look at the disposal column and he'll have the most disposals and they'll give it to him.
What's his efficiency?
Haven't actually checked that, but yeah. Here we go, guys.
Here we go. Who do you think's going to win, Dylan?
I think, I'll go with my original tip. Hawthorn. They lead by 3 points.
12 goals, 3.
Here we go.
This will be an arm wrestle all the way.
Yeah.
I don't think a team's going to pull away.
I think you mentioned it before, Nathan. Like, it's it'll turn into a slogfest and goals will be hard to come by.
I just feel like all it takes is for now is for one team to get 2 goals and they can just flood.
Yep.
You can score quickly. Yeah.
The first 5 minutes are crucial.
100%.
Barras has had that cut above his eye, taped up. He's back out there. There's a big kick from the centre wing.
What a grab.
Oh, he's been awesome too, actually.
I don't know why Freo ever delisted him. That was a Ross Lyon decision.
Was it really?
I think so. Because he was so good for us. In his first 2 years, he just looked like a 100-game fullback. And we got rid of him. It's like, why have we got rid of him? We still got freaking Bailey Banfield on our list.
What?
Riddle me that one.
He's 87 rated on AFL 26.
Don't even get me started.
Banfield. I mean, probably the only thing against that is the fact that your defense is fairly strong now. But gee,
He'd get a game ahead of Brendan Cox.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, for sure. How old was he when they delisted
We
him?
drafted him.
What number?
I couldn't tell you. But yeah, he was a consistent player for
I have no memory of him playing.
Yeah, for Freo. Yep. What could have been? Sam Collins. To be fair, similar player-ish to Alex Pearce. I reckon they would have got drafted around the same time, Sam Collins and Alex Pearce.
Yeah, well, he's 30 years old. I don't even feel like I've known about him for that long.
I reckon he would have.
Definitely not.
I reckon he would have got drafted in about 2016.
2015.
Yeah, there you go. First year, 2016. First
Pick.
season of footy.
Pick 55.
Handy.
And then presumably he was delisted in 2017 and then taken as a
Wow, what a goal.
pre-draftee.
Who was that?
Swallow.
Your man.
My boy.
The worst footballer in the league.
Never been a worst footballer ever.
Winding
said
back
Dylan.
the clock. Incredible, David Swallow. 3 points the margin.
Might be a bit of wet weather footy on Saturday, I'm hearing, at the zoo.
Oh, for the animals?
Yes. I am playing on the wing.
Have you just had the teams drop?
Yes. Has Kados in the forward line. We've got a few outs this week.
How have you been going?
We've won 2 out of our last 3.
The humper.
Cardman's playing.
Is he?
Wow. Cardman gets the call up.
That'll be fun.
Burjo's back. Skipper. Yeah, our captain hasn't played all year and he's back tomorrow. Cool. Look forward to it.
Gold Coast by 4 points here.
And Twisty's playing. Remember Twisty?
No idea.
AFL YouTuber from back in the day. Never met him, but apparently he's playing. Wet and cold on Saturday, apparently.
Okay.
It'll be on the same time as the Freo game. I'm going to miss the Freo game this week for the first time in a long time.
Ewan's not happy about that one. Someone needs to stand up here.
It's going to be Nick Watson.
Yeah.
It's been him 3 quarters.
He's been the predictable one.
Oh, that's where you want to be, Wizard. Sicily
nice.
swung forward.
Nice little... Gee, Reeves doesn't...
Free kick to Jeffrey. Was that there? Oh, ball up.
He goes McGuinness.
Mackenzie. Did he try to keep it in?
Insufficient intent.
He just tapped it out.
I didn't even see it.
He did this one. Fair call, umpire, I say.
I want to see that again. I didn't actually see...
He's just not trying to keep it in at all. He's just tapped it over the boundary line.
I do like when they're strict on that rule with consistency.
Yeah, it's not one where you go, oh, frick's sake. It's one where it's like, yeah, the game moves fast.
Well, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, what are they trying to do? They're trying to get the ball out, right? So you got to try to keep it in.
The Warpedo goes with the drop punt.
He's
that
got
looks
that.
good.
He has got... Oh!
But they always add another $200,000 on his next contract.
Yes. Where's the Warpedo going to go?
It'd be Geelong. I think they're the...
I don't think he wants to leave.
No, but I think the consensus is if they get Harley Reid, then he's off. He's the one who falls.
Right.
That's
fair.
Where does... Oh, gee, big mistake there by Powell. Where does Warple go? Like walking into another AFL team where he kind of really elevates them, like makes them better.
Yeah, well, Geelong. They don't have the best midfield.
Probably the only one, isn't it?
Places Jai Clark.
Yeah. Well, they've sort of got that like...
You take him at St Kilda.
Yeah, you take him, but...
It would just be I do rate Warple. I just think it would be pretty deflating after we tried Callahan and a bunch of other high-end mids that the one we get is Warple.
We got a date within your range,
Date within your range.
You got to take what
Stop
you can
going
get.
for 8s.
Stop going for 8s.
Yeah.
I reckon Warple's, like a strong 7, but Finn Callahan's a 10.
Is Warple a 7?
My favourite part was before the year when that story came out. Everyone's like, why are you offering that much money? And now everyone's like, oh, now I understand.
Yeah.
See, at the beginning of the season, I said Warple's having a really good year. Like he played well last year. I feel like you notice the flaws of a Warple when Will Day's out of the team for an extended period of time. You don't have that class around him because he isn't great on the ball, is he? And you bring him into the Saints team. As much as he is probably better than like your weakest midfielder, I think he's better than like a Jones, probably.
Not that hard.
You were playing Crouch last year. He's out of the team now, but like he probably slightly makes them better, but does it really fix...
It doesn't move the needle.
It doesn't fix anything, does it?
Yeah, no, where our midfield needs A grade, like game-changing mids.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking
They're
for.
not easy to come by, though.
No.
So you take a B grader and then upgrade your
But
midfield.
we're full of B graders.
Yeah.
That's our issue. Is when it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, the quality just isn't there.
So do you not take a B grader because you'd rather wait for an A grader?
I'd rather just see if we could, because we'd have to give up a pick for him. I'd rather see what we can do with
Who's
that.
going to go to St Kilda? What A grade midfielder is going to go to St Kilda?
I don't know. Not much.
Yeah, so you just...
We tried. There's no, every Victorian team's going to be in for Reid.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're trying to turn Naz into that, but,
He's going to leave.
If he leaves, that's going to rip my soul out.
Yeah, I'd hate that.
I don't care what happens in the off-season. That's the one.
Yeah, 100%. Doesn't matter who you bring in. If you lose him, that's just...
Because we finally actually drafted and developed our own A-grade talent.
Yeah.
And he pisses off.
Yeah, he's like the first true one you've had in a long time.
Top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philippu's the one for me.
Oh, yeah. Don't get started on Philippo.
Naz is different gravy.
Nah, see, Philippo can easily... like this is where I will show my biases. I think he's genuinely going to be an A-grade talent.
Yeah, I agree.
He just has whatever it is that we are looking for. He has it. He just needs time.
Yeah.
And right now we need that 22, 23-year-old to kind of fill that gap until Filippo can become that A-grade mid and Garcia can slowly get there, become that B-grade mid that we're looking for.
Darcy Wilson could become an
He's not gonna
all-Australian
be-
winger, I reckon.
Winger, yeah, not a midfielder.
Yeah.
He shirks at every contest.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen him.
I really rate Darcy Wilson. He's going to be a jet, but at least this year I've noticed he's
He's second guessing
panicking, and
himself.
He doesn't get. He doesn't like the amount of times he kicks it off the ground rather than.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Like we see Travalia as a mid. Like he's only played midfield for us. So
Travalia will be a mid.
yeah.
He's tough though, Darcy Wilson. Maybe not in the middle of the ground around the contest, but he goes hard at the ball.
Tough when the ball's in the air, just not so much on the ground.
I think sometimes you see that when more outside players step into the midfield. Like it is that like second guessing, like you said, good mark there by Barris. It's like the second guessing, and then they're thinking about it, and then they make bad decisions. Like
especially because someone like Darcy Wilson this year, he's scared to make mistakes.
Yeah,
that's been his whole thing. Is he struggles to use the ball well.
Yeah, I think another example of that for like putting a North lens on it is Colby McKercher this season because he played all his football last year off the half back line where he's got that time and space to work. Obviously, before that, he's playing as a midfielder, but in like under 18 football. Steps up this year, and like they put him to like a high half forward kind of role, and there's just not enough. There's just not as much space.
They're going chip through the middle of the ground.
Sicily's forward.
They've swung Sicily forward when they've taken Calshadir off, it seems.
Do you
He's
see
done nothing tonight, Sicily?
He hasn't, has he?
Game is in the sort of balance of the Suns right now.
Do you think Hardwick puts like a Mac Andrew? Gee, Dylan Moore's been a bit funny with the ball tonight too.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a turnover merchant or losing the contest merchant, if that's a thing.
Like that one, he actually just had more time. Oh, pal.
Oh, it takes on another tackler.
That's gone. That's
One
gone.
too many.
That's got to be gone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Play on advantage. We can't see the man who's kicking the ball. Dylan Moore loses another contest.
Oh,
That was
Hardwick.
Tough. That was high. That was high on Hardwick.
He doesn't shirk a
Closey.
contest. Here we go.
Play
Oh,
on.
Chol.
He gave up on the play there, didn't he?
Bailey
Footsteps,
Humphrey.
I think.
Well, it was a one-on-one and he was sort of there to win it. Go, Ward. I want to see him do well. And he's done well.
Yeah.
Newcomb, how are the foot skills?
Here we go. Oh, who was that?
Oh, that's Bailey McDonald.
Jeez, he did not want to take that gap, did he?
Yeah, he had to go there, really, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is AFL footy. I don't know if he's played an AFL game.
That's a good question. Did that go out?
It was a throw.
Let's have a look at his numbers. What's his name?
Bailey McDonald. The love child of Bailey McCabe and Cade McDonald.
He's had 2 kicks. He's 20 years old. He's listed as a medium defender.
Any games?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at his profile. Career.
Below average and everything.
Yeah, he's played.
He's probably come on as a sub,
Yeah.
to be fair to him.
Yeah.
No, that's Luke Bruce and Gunson.
Yeah, but like when he's come in.
5 games he's
There you
played.
go.
Debut 2023. 182 centimetres. Like, yeah, just a pick 51 in the 2022 national draft. From Surrey Park and Wesley College.
There you go. Jed Walter.
I don't think my claim of him having a breakout is going to happen, guys.
It looked great in the
I'm gonna go out
first
on a limb.
quarter.
He might take the winning
Maybe
mark.
it wasn't the ideal game in 32 degrees and being humid.
He just punched the ground and about 3 of his teammates got around him and said, yeah, punch that ground, brother. You're shit. No, they didn't say that.
Battle's been limping for a long time.
Yeah, he has.
Got his calf taped up.
Who's he playing on?
I missed that.
Probably Ben Long.
Weddle as a second ruck is disgusting.
Oh,
He's literally played every position tonight, Weddle.
Massimo.
Where the ball go, Weddle go.
Who wins this for Hawthorn other than Nick Watson?
I don't know who it's going to be out of the middle. Connor McDonald's been quiet.
Yeah. I think a lot of their players have been down.
Oh, Oh, he's played for that. Here we go. We've got a true stoppage here. Slightly in the forward half of the Suns. Swallow, the worst player ever. Humphrey kicks into the corridor. This could spell danger for the Suns. Mackenzie with the mongrel ball forward. Now they need someone with their small forwards.
This has actually worked out reasonable for them here.
Yeah, sometimes the mongrel entries work, especially when you've got a small forward line. Hardwick.
Go Hardwick.
Follows up. He hasn't made an attempt to get rid of it.
Hardwick's just a good player, isn't he?
So good. He is just like, you want to see Aussie football? Here's Blake Hardwick.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so honest and good at everything.
Yeah. Very chicken palmy kind of player.
Yes.
Compare them to pub foods.
Yeah.
Who would be a steak?
Like a Pallies and...
Yeah, Nick Dacos is like a ribeye.
Yeah.
Like your schnitzels would be like, they could be palmies if they just had a bit more sauce to them.
Yeah. Great call. That is an incredible call.
So I actually don't know anyone who just gets a chicken schnitzel. Why is that even on a menu?
James Warple is a chicken schnitzel.
Yeah, there we go. He's a chicken schnitzel.
Bad call though. Shitties are elite. If you don't want like the cheesy like feel, no, you just get
make it at home then.
Pepper and lemon.
What is the snitty? Does the snitty? Does that come with gravy?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, bit of grey box. Get a bit of that's a bit sort of German, isn't it?
Chips on it as well. Chips, schnitty, and a nice salad.
What's the kit that the Germans wear? The late.
I don't know, man. You're telling the story.
later hosen.
No, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, okay. A bit of mayonnaise with your chips. Chicken
bit
snitty.
of garlic aioli, yeah.
Yeah.
James Warple.
What am I saying? James Warple, yeah, chicken snitty.
Who would be like a margarita pizza?
Is that like, are you putting that in the boring category because it's margarita?
I was thinking like maybe like they're too cheesy. They're too... They try too much.
I reckon basic, but you know what you're getting, but not satisfying.
Sounds like Warple again.
Nah, because I reckon he's
John
more
Noble?
Nah, because he's got a bit of zip and zap to him.
Nobes.
Harvey Morrison is a margarita pizza.
Do you mean Harry?
Harry
Morrison?
Who did I say? Harvey. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one for me.
I feel like Morrison's so niche for that.
Oh!
That was
Swallow!
Long.
The worst player in the AFL. Bang, goal. Got to be hard.
That was all Ben Long.
Nice.
Who was that?
God, Swallow just jumped up and had his shorts pulled up, and man has a dumpy.
He's playing.
I like this pub food game.
I'm struggling to understand the foods a little bit. Like I'm not getting the metaphor of the
it's
food.
It's all that vibe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like Schnitty is a palmy but without the like sauce. Yeah. That's Warple. He's a good midfielder, but he's just not saucy enough.
So a steak is like a Bontempelli, Dacos. Yeah. We'll put Finn Callahan in that.
Yeah.
Jack McRae.
Jack McRae's calamari.
Is there a VFL? Is there a VFL steak?
Yeah.
Jack McRae would be that.
Did you not like the calamari reference?
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Yeah. I thought that was quite good.
Calamari.
Just
What about like a salmon and veg kind of? That's like a pub meal. That would be a bit more.
I reckon that's like a Carl Amon. Just like
silky outside type.
Yeah.
And they're back.
Bang. Straight out of the middle there, Josh Ward. Josh Ward's a bit of a salmon and veg.
But like if it was like a bad salmon because they just fall apart, Max King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd see that as like an off steak.
No, that was just a joke about how his body just keeps falling apart. It wasn't meant to be more than anything, just that. Just want to get it out there.
What else can we do here? What other pub meals are there? Fish and chips.
I already said that.
Yeah, who is it though?
So what is like too much batter? Maybe because like who puts too much on something?
Tastes good, but
you don't want it all the time.
Yeah. Jai Amos. Chol.
Jai
Bang.
Amos.
Well, it looks good on paper. Yeah. But you get it and you just feel
it's like a
zinger
box. Like thinking about it is better than actually having it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amos is like, he's just in terrible
Clayton Oliver,
form.
fish and chips.
Yeah.
Why is Clayton Oliver fish and chips?
Because you think about having fish and chips, and it sounds like a good idea, but then you have him and you just be like, ooh.
Is that like last 2 years, Clayton?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What about George Wardlaw?
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Pure
The
just
bangers
like-
and mash.
Yeah.
Yeah, bangers and mash.
Spaghetti bolognese.
I love George Wardlaw.
I love spaghetti bolognese. Good tap from Ned Reeves. Great kick from Josh Ward and a standard chest mark, but solid.
Ned
finish.
Reeves gave that a big, it was like a little outside of the hand punch, little backhander. He gave it a big, come on, when they got the mark too.
Ned Reeves
he's big.
screams pepperoni pizza to me. Just
Explain.
big
Just
New
goes-
York, just what you see is what you get.
What
You
you
gotta-
see is what you get.
Oh, he's just a bit too it's a bit too sort of
All this food talk's got me hungry. Here we go. Here
Nuke.
come the Hawks. Their response. Newcomb, how are the
beautiful
foot skills?
kick.
Connor McDonald at the half forward area.
Go for goal.
He's going to have to.
No.
It's going to go right.
He's
Is it a
been
handy
poor
point?
tonight.
Not a handy point.
I hate that right tail he's got.
Makes him
Yeah.
look a bit like a Jedi. I kind of rate it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like rat
You know what,
tails.
now that I'm seeing it from that perspective, I like it.
Yes.
You convinced me.
You like his rat's tail. Star Wars show.
Powley. It's a big last
Powley
8
D.
minutes. If Gold Coast do win this game, they're really set up with that game in
Yeah.
hand,
Embedded.
embedded in the top 4.
Ben Long.
Where's Jed Walter?
Jesus, nearly. He's got.
That's your man.
It's Swallow.
The worst
Why is he
footballer.
there?
God, he put his knee where I wouldn't put it there.
Kick the bloody thing.
Why did I think he was Jed Walter?
Position.
I
Slightly.
guess, yeah. He just looked huge, though, didn't he, when that ball came in?
I told you before, he has a dumpy.
He was a number 1 draft pick.
And
All right,
not-
what pump food is David Swallow?
Oh, here we go. Well, something a bit old. Like, you see it on the
Yeah.
menu and you're like,
You're like, I wouldn't ever get that, but
You know what I'd say David Swallow is because I like him? He's a cottage pie.
cottage
good
pie,
one.
that's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's a roast dinner? Scott Pendlebury.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Is Pendle's
game is sick.
is Pendle's not like a steak though?
No, it's a roast dinner. Because roast dinner is also elite.
Okay.
This is the funnest game I've ever played. Step aside Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Footballers and pub
I want to
meals.
Google more pump foods.
Yeah, there's definitely more. What if they were coffees?
Now you're testing me.
Don't know your coffees.
Yeah.
Macchiato.
I can tell you
Espresso.
Alex Pierce is definitely a soy oat.
Who would be just like a burger and chips?
Oh,
Right.
burger and chips.
That's a pretty classic
D'Ambrosio.
Nah.
one.
No, he was just taking a shot at goal.
Oh.
Is that a handy point? No, it's not. Burger and chips. Sean Darcy is a
I feel like I was going to
burger
make
and
like a
chips.
stringer joke because like he's the package.
Yeah, I reckon
Like a
Stringer's a burger and
Yeah,
chips.
okay. You reckon-
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
going to make it the joke that it's all in one package. But
No, I think so.
cool.
Is Bailey Humphrey a burger and chips?
Nah, Bailey Humphrey's like a... I'd say Bailey Humphrey's a palmy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wait. Who did I say was... Yeah.
Chicken wings, who's a bit messy but still gets the job done.
Matt Rao.
Matt Rao, pinball.
Who else is a burger and chips? I like that one. Burger and chips. Let's think Saints players. Jack
That's
Steele.
fine. That's like,
Jack Steele is burger and chips.
yeah. Maybe like a slightly one that's falling apart, but still does the
Yeah,
job.
yeah, tastes good, but like
Yeah, like,
just
you're
terrible
really trying to tape
presentation.
it together. Yeah.
This is great.
I mean, the obvious one here for me is Jack Higgins is just like snags.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's an obvious one.
yeah, like bunning snags.
Yeah. But he's not even in the pub. He's just a...
Got to kick
Get
this.
him in.
Got to kick this.
Massive kick.
6 minutes to go in the final
To
quarter.
make it 2 points.
You dream of moments like these. Stop spinning the ball. Just go and kick it. Oh, little stutter step. He's
He's
kicked
got
it.
it.
Bang.
Yeah, we're back, boys. We are back.
Back like we never left because we didn't. We've been here the whole time, sat down with our bums on the seats.
This
Nachos.
is nachos. I love nachos.
What type of player? Like what are we thinking?
Bit of crunch, bit of salsa.
What about like a hybrid defender, like a Weddle?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Like bit of like hard,
But it's got to be a bit of tang.
Spicy, yes.
Bit of tang as well.
Hard but spicy. Luke Ryan?
Yes.
He doesn't like Luke Ryan, and he likes.
I
I'd
don't
say-
like Luke Ryan.
I'd say Luke Ryan's like some sort of meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like leaves these. Remember that game? And he just like had the drawstrings of his shorts out, and he just wouldn't tuck them in. Like, fuck off.
That's the
That's the most like petty reason to dislike.
that's the salsa, bro.
That's the salsa. Oh, Gold Coast are forward again. They seem to be able to respond every time.
Yeah,
Holman,
they do.
don't be Holman. Don't be Holman.
Why not Holman?
Oh.
It's Took. Bang!
Every time they just respond instantly.
Why did you say don't be Holman?
Oh, I don't know, because he sucks.
Do you like any of the Gold Coast players?
No, I do.
What is up with that? Oh, don't be Holman. Please don't kick a great goal.
Don't invalidate how I feel about you.
Yeah.
Oh, Holmanator.
Come on, mate.
This is big. Like, Gold Coast jump Hawthorn if they win this game. They move into... They'll be second on the ladder with a game in hand.
I dropped the clip.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I've dropped the clip. Stand up and it'll fall down.
Just let it go. They'll be in second position with a game in hand.
But like until they just start consistently winning away, it's never gonna.
No.
No one's gonna take him too seriously. Like as in, like I'm gonna fear this coming up against this team.
Oh, 100% no.
I say that as we play them at Marble Stadium next week.
No, I think they're always gettable, but like there will be a turning point for them where, like, just the absurd conveyor belt of talent that they're bringing in consistently.
Yeah.
It's going to get like once the wins start, like the ability to be able to win starts piling up.
They're going to be.
Dude, my
just-
boy. Oh,
Who wants it?
Oh, it's
Ooh.
Weddle.
The Nacho
he's been
Libre.
everywhere.
Nacho Libre. He's so good. He has been good tonight, hasn't he? After you said he was terrible.
I never
Nathan.
said he was terrible. I just said I prefer. Was it Mac Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's an absolute star? Oh.
You know who else is an absolute star? Nick Holman and David Swallow.
Is that true?
No. What's going on with Battle? Bit of concussion, maybe. Bit of sore leg. Bit of I don't want to look at you, trainer. Bit going on there.
He kind of looked a bit there like when you get a... What's that?
What was that? I'm hitting the microphone. Okay.
Bit of Mark feedback. Chol.
Oh,
Rioli.
that was slick.
Amon could never.
Anderson. Mongrel, get it in there. Oh, that is
Is that long again?
the front tumbler. I want to see it become a bit more of a feature in our game.
Just the...
It favours the forward because the top spin brings it down. Like a drop punt sort of sends it and it glides.
The dump sort of kick? Or
No, but he's intentionally front punted that.
Yeah, okay.
And it's given Weddle no chance.
Yeah.
Same as the crisp one in the Geelong game.
Because it sort of protects the...
It doesn't glide back. It comes down. So if you have the drop zone, there's no way it's going to be spoiled.
Yeah. It is really like interesting sometimes when you think about kicking and how we're so... Like for so long in the game, we were so orthodox about kicking.
Drop punt.
As in like, yeah, it's like a drop punt. And even there was probably like a 10-year period where every pundit in the game was like, yeah, I don't like that. He's going around the corner.
Yeah.
When it's clearly better.
Yeah. When it's straight in front, I don't necessarily think so. But if it's on a slight angle, allow it. If it's from distance, I don't like it.
But what are you basing that on?
I just like the linear nature of a drop punt when you're straight in front.
Just aesthetically.
Not aesthetically. I think it makes more sense to just walk forward, be forward, drop the ball straight over your leg and kick.
Okay.
I don't like that you kick across your body from straight in front of goal.
Okay.
I prefer the linear nature of a drop punt set shot.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, God. The fans are leaving early. They've seen enough of this thriller. Ben
That's
Long, 4 goals. I said he was my favourite son on the ground before. And
He's been
now
good.
It's not accumulation. It's just
He just hurts you, doesn't he?
yes.
He's a hard matchup. That's what you want to be as a small forward.
That's what you wanna be. So best on ground, I would say, has been. I'd give Nick Watson the 3, Noah Anderson 2, and Ben Long 1.
Would you still go with Watson the 2, even though
Yeah, I think so.
they haven't gone on with it?
Watson with 3?
You 3 is
Yeah.
in maximum.
Yeah, I'd say Nick Watson has been bog. Oh,
I wouldn't.
him or Anderson.
I would say. I'd almost say Ben Long's been best
CJ's
on ground.
just kicked that a genuine 80 metres. Sicily, you got to go, brother. He's done well. Just gained territory footy. Vital at this point of the game. No, that's not high. Chol, clean below the knees. Sells the candy.
Go,
Drop punt.
go,
Get
go,
in there, that's a
go.
goal. That's a goal. What a finish. What
We're
a goal
on.
from Marbior Chol.
Great from
3
Sicily
minutes
there.
to go. Yeah, he was. He
was
charged
excellent.
in.
Just made a contest. How was that pick up and finish from Chol? Incredible. That's why the purists like the drop punt.
Yeah. Just straight through. Open play.
What a goal. That's the goal of the night right there, I reckon.
Oh, it's a big... That hit on...
That is the goal of the night, without a doubt. Off a step.
yeah.
Bang.
Sold a little bit of candy there involved in that as well.
The gather, the composure. Look at this little step on Sam Collins. Oh, 1-2. Bang. Gets smothered. Noble slides into Collins. Hawks could ride this momentum here in the last couple minutes. What are they behind?
This has been the problem, though. Every time they've kicked a goal, the Suns have won the next centre clearance.
That's the issue. The ball goes straight back into the middle.
But now it's time to go.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Anderson again.
It's time to go.
Get him, Nuke. Get him. Big last 2.5 minutes here. The
Sam
fact that,
Mitchell's stressing.
yeah, they need 2 goals.
I reckon they can do it.
Oh, Reeves. I feel Reeves is really uncompetitive at ground level.
Yeah. He is so tall.
Yeah. He's almost at that point where...
Ben Long again.
Holman. Oh, don't kick
Not
a goal,
Holman.
Oh,
Bailey
that's,
McDonald.
That's your boy.
Bit of run and dash.
The 23rd man.
Bit of run and dash.
Here he
no. Good
goes.
one too.
How's the shoe? Good.
Nice.
Ward
Just gotta go.
goes corridor.
Here we go.
Sicily hits up. You gotta
Oh,
move it
slows it
quicker,
down.
don't you?
Jeez.
You gotta move it quicker.
You got the...
Why wouldn't you?
Oh, that's a bad
That's
option.
the worst option.
Now they've got to compete.
What a-
Wizard.
Get your best on ground back. Nah. Oh. Sicily fucked that.
Suns would have been set up nicely, but yeah, probably just give a handball receive there.
Dude, did
keep
you see the
feeding
guy
ball.
that sort of splayed out on the right of Sicily there
Yeah.
in acres of space and would have been able to like generate the entry like much closer to goal?
Yeah. Oh, not Holman.
Oh, not Holman.
God, what a 5 minutes
awful
he's
player.
had.
Oh, good pick up by Toog.
What on Scrimshaw?
Yeah, very good by Scrimshaw.
Gotta go.
Aim on. He's got a good shoe.
Just got to kick it there. Mac's going to take
Back
it.
Andrew under it. Oh, they blocked him out
Dylan
well.
Moore nearly took the mark.
Go.
Wizard.
Wizard.
He's played for that. Yeah, he's played for
He
it.
has too. He has.
He made that way too obvious.
Yeah.
That can't be your first option when you've picked up the ball
Nah.
in that area. Like,
Hold it.
nah, go. He's out.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
what a
Scrimshaw's had an incredible last minute.
Aim on. Oh,
Go.
the Swallow's out on his feet. Come
Too
on
slow.
as the sub. Oh.
Nah.
That's the game.
Oh,
Why has he
Did he
played
drop it?
on?
I think he dropped it. Must have been
Oh, okay. Gee, I was like, look at the signs up.
territory.
Oh.
The Suns aren't going to win this ball, though. They're gassed. Oh, Ainsworth's not. That's a high tackle.
No, it's
a
not.
great tackle.
I don't think that was. That was ball. Got him on the shoulder.
Well, they're not going to win it from here, are they?
Nah. 28 seconds.
My prediction reigns
Nah,
true.
Andrew's too good. No, he's not.
No.
Get rid of him. Get Wetterlin.
Fiorini. How many's he had tonight, actually, Fiorini? Just out of
16.
interest. Yes.
What
Did you say that?
No.
Wow. That's high.
That's high. 7 seconds. It's over. I think you've got to give the best on ground in this game to Ben Long.
Yeah, Ben Long, Noah Anderson. What a win for Gold
Yeah.
Coast. What a win.
Collins was really good.
I'm still on the Wiz.
Still going the Wiz?
Still got the Wiz and Anderson second.
Even with that high tackle.
he kept him in the game.
Wiz was one of the best on.
Oh, 100% he was.
Yeah.
No.
I think Suns was just more of a team effort.
Yeah. Yep. Well.
Big win.
Well. Suns are getting to the point where they're going to be hard to catch, I feel.
Is this just going to be the Gold Coast for the next 8 years now?
It could be.
That's scary.
I mean, they're completely like middle of the ground. They've got two of the better players in the competition in Anderson and Rao. They've got probably the guy that looks to be like the next Dustin Martin, centre forward player in Bailey Humphrey. They've got a stacked defense that's all of like a pretty good age profile, and then all that talent that's been coming through over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really I don't know. It's not going to end, is it?
No, Mac Andrew in defence. God, Rioli off half back.
Remembering they've got King, who's like in the zone now age wise. They've got Walter, who's young. They've got Ethan Reed, who's young. It's just incredible.
Did any of the 2023 crop even play tonight?
Graham was out. Rogers is out. Who were the other two? No, Reed. Walter was the only one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Walter was the only one. Reed was the emergency.
So just second on the ladder. That's real deal stuff.
They're second, mate. And if they win that game in hand, they're on top. Is that right?
Wow.
That might be wrong.
We've got Gold Coast in 2 weeks.
No, they are. Yeah,
we got the Gold Coast next week as well. I was saying that. Oh, they don't win away, and then I should have checked the fixture before I said that.
We play them at Metricon or People's First or whatever it's called. Whatever the kids
Heritage
call
Bank?
it these days. I don't even know. They change it every week, don't they?
Yeah.
What about Hawks? What have they got coming up?
Let's have a look.
I mean, I feel like they're still going to be there or thereabouts, but maybe lacking like that midfield. They got dominated around the ball at times tonight, I thought.
There's almost like men against boys type stuff.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Oh, God, they've got a tough run. They've got Brisbane, Collingwood, Dogs, and Adelaide.
Oh.
That's Hawthorn and then North Melbourne.
That's a doozy.
Yeah.
Any travel involved in that?
Brisbane at home, Collingwood away, Dogs away, and then Adelaide at home. So no, they're not leaving Victoria.
They're not leaving Victoria.
Next 6 weeks at least.
Helps, but yeah, that's
and I
still
think they play Freo after that. I reckon
in Perth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not ideal, and like North, as much as like I shit on North a lot of the time, like they're one of those teams probably now that if you get them at the wrong time, they could be awkward to play, like a little bit of a banana skin. You guys are like, no.
No.
Yeah. Don't know if I agree.
They're pretty low on my teams I fear.
I don't mean fear.
West Coast are probably higher. I'd be more confident against North
than West Coast.
We're coming up. I am shit scared going over there this week.
Because of the trip? If it was at Marvel,
I'd be more confident. But yeah.
See, they're one of the few teams in the competition when we come up against West Coast, I sort of feel we've just got more quality than they have. So we should win. We usually don't still.
Do you feel that way against Richmond as well?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like our team's got...
Yeah, you have better players, but not as good of a culture.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like Richmond have proved that this season, I think. Like being able to bring so many young players in. Their experienced players, their leaders actually matter. I think that's where it's like they've actually got experience winning games and can kind of like guide these players, where our leaders like Simpkin and McDonald's and these types of players, like they're just not really... They're leaders, but they're not really leaders. They almost still need to be led themselves.
Saints will be right. You'll be fine.
Heard that before.
It's West Coast, man.
What's against West Coast?
Huh?
Yeah, but you guys have a pretty good record over them recently.
Most teams do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, every team needs to win. Like they win, even the worst teams win 1 or 2.
If St Kilda pump Freo by 10 goals and lose to West Coast, I'll actually put my membership in the microwave.
We'll go through the games.
No, you didn't lose to St Kilda. You lost to Cooper Sharman.
We lost to Ross Lyon St Kilda.
Going through the games tomorrow night. Sydney versus Carlton at the SCG.
That could be a bit of a Carlton come of the season.
It could be.
I just reckon Sydney are looking a bit stinky at the moment, and Carlton, I feel like, are building.
In fairness to Carlton, even with TD, like it's a big out, obviously, but they do have a ready-made replacement.
Come back
I heard
in.
he's shopping for homes in Moorabbin.
He's what?
He's actually out because he's doing a circle of like Elwood, Moorabbin.
TDK.
Gotcha. Sydney 3 wins this season, 1 in the last 4. Carlton 4 wins this season, 3 of the last 4.
There you go.
Sydney won the same game last season by 52 points. Amati is back. Maybe Mills is back. No Tom De Koning. What are we saying?
I'm gonna
I think Sydney are going to bounce back.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon they're losing a bit at the moment. Sydney. I reckon they're a bit leaky. And I think Carlton, they've had a lot of bad games at the SCG over the years, but I reckon this is a bit of a Carlton start to build.
Turning point.
I can feel it.
What gives you confidence with Carlton, the way that they've been playing 3 out of their last 4?
Yeah, I feel like their midfield's just clicking a little bit. Who did they play last week? They played the Saints.
Yeah.
And showed a bit of character. So, yeah, I think that I don't think they're going to get...
Chair at a halfback.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get any worse for a little while. I feel like they're going to build now.
Yeah.
They were expected to be good this year. And, I can see them.
I always think they'll knock off generally speaking, they'll knock off the teams that they're better than just because of their star factor players. It's when they get the tests where I think they begin to struggle a little bit. Who do I tip in this game? I think at home, Heaney, Warner still around the ball. Potentially a dominance in ruck with Grundy. I think I'm going to go Sydney.
So that's how I thought last week against Essendon, and if you can't beat Essendon, come on now.
Yeah, it's a bad loss away from home, but I think that's...
I don't think they're going to have 2 bad losses in a row.
Yeah. They're
not this Sydney. Like, I know they've got a few outs, but even still.
Yeah, they're more of an established club than that, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to go Sydney at the SCG. Saturday, we go to Collingwood and Adelaide. That's a pretty big game now.
Massive game.
2 versus 5 on the ladder.
Is that the first game of Saturday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It should be in a more prime time position than that.
100%.
Get this. Collingwood have won the last 4 games against Adelaide by an average of 3 points.
That's ridiculous.
Who did Adelaide play last week?
Adelaide played...
Port Adelaide. It was a showdown.
Yes, showdown. That was a gutsy win, actually, from Adelaide, with Port coming at them in a big game.
Did Collingwood come back to Melbourne?
What do you mean?
They must have, because they played at Freo last. Oh, is it at the G? It's at the G.
Yeah, it's at
Sorry,
the G.
I thought it was at SA.
As if they'd make Collingwood play away 2 weeks in a row.
Collingwood at the G.
I don't think Collingwood leave Victoria for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're a big Victorian club.
Yeah.
So I mean, lots of close games between these 2 teams. I do feel like a little bit though, like that's coming from that. You know, like the last couple of years, Collingwood played that. I don't know. They were having a lot of close finishes, lower scoring games.
Yeah.
They seem to be a little bit more free flowing this season with the way that they score.
Yeah, they scored against us mainly from counterattacks.
Yeah. They're a big. They'll hurt you with Dacos and Houston off halfback.
Yeah. And the runners like Elliott, Bobby Hill, Bo McCreary.
Cripps. Crisp is he's been incredible as well.
Great form. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Side bottom Pendlebury. Just so many good decision makers in that team. It's a tricky one though.
It is.
Do you reckon Peatling goes to Dacos?
Have to. Haven't they already said they're going to tag Dacos?
Yeah, I guess it's just who does it. If it's maybe like they could bring like a Hinge, but then they probably lose something from halfback. I think it'd be Peatling.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the only argument you could make for tipping Adelaide at the MCG is maybe just not enough like defensive prowess for Collingwood with those Thilthorpe, Fogarty.
Not enough defensive prowess for Collingwood.
Those 3 are scary.
Yeah, like as in from a one-on-one perspective, as in like that's going to stretch anyone. But what are Collingwood running at the moment? Frampton, Darcy Moore
and Howe.
But
they're the best rated defence in the competition at the moment.
Yeah, that's as far as from
a team perspective.
One-on-one.
I see what you're saying. I just feel like I've got to tip Collingwood, even though Yeah, it's a tough one.
I'm going to tip Collingwood.
That's a coin flip.
Yeah. I feel like you have to kind of just on the away from home. Like Adelaide don't necessarily travel particularly well, do they?
Well,
They won their last one at this year, didn't they?
pumped
did.
Essendon in there.
That's right.
So, yeah, no, that's
Different
gonna be a
gravy
great
though,
game.
isn't it? Collingwood
It
versus
is.
Essendon
It
at the
is.
MCG. The next one after that is Port Adelaide v Geelong at Adelaide Oval. And you look at that fixture and like, okay, you think Geelong are going to win the game, but travelling to Adelaide again, they've been a little bit shaky, just sort of they're up for one, down for another, Geelong.
I don't feel like Port Adelaide's a fixture that Chris Scott's going to struggle with.
He'll just get it done.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Port Adelaide are going to pose a massive threat to them.
I think you
I
did
think
say that about the
Port
Giants
have had
last
a-
week too, though.
Port have had a nice little couple of games in a row, but I think that's about it for them.
Yeah.
I think the Ken train's running out of steam.
The Ken train is running out of steam.
Yeah.
It's an emotional roller coaster, isn't it? With Port Adelaide this season.
Yeah, I feel like their game plan just runs on emotion.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
If they get like pumped in the media or something happens like on field, that's when they start playing well.
Do you reckon there's anything in the shift in performance and Connor Rozee to that halfback position? So you've kind of opened up. I don't know. I feel like there's something in that move that's made. It's not just that Rosie's gone to halfback and they get a little bit more drive from there, but it's the fact that sort of gives like Connor Rozee. He's a nice player, but he maybe doesn't give you that grunt in the midfield and just making it like, okay, it's Butters, it's Horn Francis, it's Willem Drew, Wines. Yeah, Wines goes in there as well. Was sort of like that fourth guy, but having more defined roles. Whereas before it was like, who's in? Is it like you're taking away from Butters and Horn Francis to give to Rosie, and now you're spreading the talent a little bit more evenly.
Yeah, I prefer Rosie in the middle.
Do you
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's too good not to be in the middle.
really?
Like,
Yeah,
I
Kane
think
Corn-
it was a nice little fun time experiment down back, but
It
You reckon
makes
he's
sense.
you've got to put him in the midfield.
Kane Corn said
too
like,
classy.
if you take Rosie, if you try to put him back into the middle, then what do you do with like Wines, Boak, or Drew?
Exactly.
Because they can't go anywhere else.
They can't go anywhere
So you
else.
have to play. Well, you don't have to play him because he's played in the midfield pretty much the whole time. They just need a halfback, a Dan Houston type would be handy. But
Yeah.
they've lost that luxury.
I feel like the Burtons and the Farrells probably don't have like the aura of a Dan Houston.
I like Farrell,
Yeah, he's decent.
but yeah, he's not that superstar. He's a B plus player.
yeah, like
Chicken
the
schnitzel.
Yes.
Yeah.
chicken snitty. So who are we going? You're going Geelong, Drews?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, Geelong.
I'm going to put Adelaide
Okay.
at home.
So after all that,
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I just think Butters, Jason Horn-Francis could absolutely tear Geelong's midfield a new one.
Yeah, but Geelong's midfield.
Geelong's midfield is just
It's
as
never
good, if
been
not
good.
better.
Geelong's midfield is better. They've been getting smashed at clearances though. I mean, I know they do it a different way. Like they sort of almost a lot of this season have been like conceding clearance and then
Ball movement. From
Ball
Bailey
movement.
Smith and Max Holmes.
but yeah, like on paper, I feel like their midfield is the weakest area. Who are you saying is in their midfield? Like Holmes,
Smith.
Forward lines looking.
Smith. Yeah, I suppose if see, I feel like Smith.
The danger when he runs through there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
only
although
doing
he's-
about 25%.
Yeah, he's pretty low.
Oh, yeah.
They're not that. See, those players though, like Holmes and Bailey Smith, excellent players. They're not clearance players though. They're like more ball mover players. So they don't have that guy that, like the Caleb Sarong jersey, like the in and under guy, kind of farming it out.
Atkins.
Yeah, well, he is that guy.
Yeah.
but I guess he's not.
He's the best defensive mid in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like that top tier quality. And then they're kind of always playing like a. I think like that Oyson Mullen's been playing some defensive roles
Yeah.
on players. I'm going to go with Port anyway. GWS and Fremantle at NG Stadium.
Sorry, bro.
GWS. Don't need to apologise.
Not looking good.
No. You know what it is about that fixture? My brother said it perfectly the other day. Freo struggle most when it's like a small team, a small stadium, not many people in attendance. Like there's not much atmosphere. We just
Okay.
can't get up for those games. St Kilda, empty MCG against Melbourne, GWS. I don't think we've ever won there.
So they basically just take you out to the desert and shoot you.
Yeah. Yep.
Grim.
We played well in the desert in Alice Springs last year, actually, having said that. But
I don't know why, like looking at that fixture on paper today, I kind of thought, could that be a game where Freo have to travel.
The human psyche is a funny thing, isn't it?
It is. It's weird why I even think that.
I'm also thinking that. Like,
No way.
There's a part of me that's like, we've lost 2 in a row. We won clearances last week. Like, we dominated clearances in inside 50s. GWS have had a tough run of games.
Yep.
We've had a 9-day break.
Jackson's
going to play number 1 ruck. Like, that goes in my head, but then I'm like, nah, don't get you over.
Sometimes it does happen too, where like the team backs against the walls. They just like start to play with like a bit of freedom as well. Like you said, like Jackson in the ruck. Sarong just hunts the footy.
Well, we were playing with freedom last week for 3 quarters. The third quarter we didn't, and that was the quarter where we went to shit, and the game went to shit. We just went into our shells.
Yeah. You feel like, I don't know, I feel like if the game got into, like that, you'd sort of have to jump them, I feel, at the start.
Yeah.
That like, one factor I would say though, like Giants, a little bit like Geelong this season, have really struggled at stoppages. Like, so they've given up a lot of inside 50s to the good teams, and that's why they've lost a few games, to be honest. Like, they just haven't been able to get enough of a foothold. Freo's probably one of those teams, like with players like Sarong and Brayshaw and these types, where if you give them an opportunity to win it at stoppage, you could actually let them into the game.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to tip the Giants because I have to.
Yeah.
Brent Daniels really tore us a new one last year when we played them, and he's not playing.
He's still out, isn't he?
But Hogan is looking ridiculous.
What did he kick 7 last week, didn't he?
Nuts.
I like how Hogan either kicks 0 or like 8.
Yeah.
There's no one between.
Yeah. He's just a monster though, isn't he?
Crazy. Crazy arc.
Now, the next one, Saturday night, would be Western Bulldogs and Essendon. We probably don't need to spend too much time on this one. I'm going Western Bulldogs.
Essendon are going to compete, but I'm going to go the Dogs.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and clear.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of Essendon's list at all.
Neither.
I don't like. I think
the young players are good.
I'm not sold.
I'm really not. I am very harsh on them.
Who are you not sold on?
Well, who have they got? Kako, Caddy,
They're the only, that and Darwin are the only 3 I
Darwin.
personally like out of their young core.
Zach
Take it
Reed, who
single.
got injured at training this week.
Caddy, Kako,
Yeah.
Darwin. Are we
Blank.
Perkins?
No.
I wouldn't take I don't rate him.
He's
Reed?
B minus. Reed got injured.
He's
like,
perennially injured.
No, he's okay, I think.
okay.
No, like, he's fine when he plays. He's just
All right. Yeah, benefit of the doubt. There you go. There's a defender. One defender.
I mean, again, like you're going to say injured, but Ridley.
he's not young though, is he? 26?
No, he's mid-20s. Yeah, 25, 26.
I just think their list profile is very out of whack. Their age demographic.
Archie Roberts is a good young player.
10 of him in every draft.
I haven't seen enough of him yet. Myself.
Yeah. Perkins is probably the one that needs to come on.
Yeah, I don't know. We're clutching at straws here.
Anyway, I'm going to tip the Western Bulldogs. I think they've been exceptional. Probably the best midfield in the comp right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Richards, Bond.
Libber.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Freya
And then
whatnot.
Fraser, yeah. Freya. I like that.
Yeah.
I've
I've always just pronounced it that way.
It kind of looks like it could be with like the
I
soft
think in his draft year I thought it was a silent J.
the soft J, yeah.
So and that's
soft
how and
J.
you can't change that.
Okay, we've got the big one on Sunday, the Death Rider. I'm calling it the Death Rider Derby because Richmond, North Melbourne, Richmond have our first round pick for 2025. So the Death Riding is hard. They need to beat us to what do you say? Push the knife in.
Right.
They've been rebuilding for 2 years and they win. Like they've
I feel like North
they've
are gonna
already
win.
overtaken you.
If we lose that game, like that is so embarrassing in the context of everything.
Well, because in one draft, their first draft, they drafted 3 key forwards and it's taken you how long?
Oh,
They took 3. Maybe 4.
they took
Sims,
Fall, Armstrong, Sims,
3, I think, yeah.
3, which is fairly rare to
And a
take.
cheeky
They
Luke,
take 3, like,
cheeky Luke Trainer and Sam Lawler to go.
Oh, Trainer
along
as
with it.
well. So
Yeah,
another
like he's a
key.
key,
He's a
yeah.
key. Yeah. So it was 4. Oh, incredible. No, we cannot lose this game. So simply for that reason, I'm tipping us.
Yeah, I'll tip North.
no, Richmond.
Really?
I think Richmond play a better brand.
I think
but
purely, we were talking about it for like the culture.
Yeah.
Right now, they're on the up and you guys are still stinking it up.
But they had a tough game last week. I reckon they might have had a bit of Like, can
We
they
sort of
back it
both
up?
did though, didn't we? We drew. They
Oh, true.
I just don't know where your winners are. I can point to Richmond and point 2 or 3.
LDU's a winner.
Butchers it.
Yeah, he gets going when he gets going late though.
He's pretty explosive. I feel like that would be the area that they absolutely 100%. Even now, with all the cutting and stuff that they've done, they have a better defense than we do. Their tools back there, like
Boston
and all those guys, Broad. Who's the big dog back there?
Bolter when he's not in jail.
Bolter's incredible. Yeah, well, he'll be able to play this game, won't he?
Yeah.
What's Gibcus up to? Is he recovered from his knee?
No, he's still out.
Still out.
So he's a good talent as well that they've got sitting there. So we could get them in the midfield, I think, potentially. Paul Curtis out is big, but we just have to win this game. Have to. I don't know where we would go from here.
The only way is up, buddy.
Brisbane and Melbourne. If you tip Melbourne, Trucy.
I actually think they match up quite well. No.
Do we say that on the stream?
Is this at the Gabba?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, it is.
That's right. We don't need to talk about it. Yeah, Brisbane.
Brisbane.
But Melbourne took it to them last year at the Gabba. Were given no chance to win that game, and they took them to the wire.
And they lost.
They still
Yes.
lost.
But
You've
dodgy
tipped
umpiring.
Melbourne every single week on this stream. You've said, I could just see Melbourne winning that game.
I've got a soft spot for them, and you treat them like they're North Melbourne. So I back them a bit just
I
to
don't
stick
treat
it to
them
you. Yes, you do. You talk about Melbourne like they're the worst team in the AFL.
They've made a lot of mistakes. They've got a lot wrong.
Right? Like what?
Oh, well, like Petrarca and Oliver, the potential to be able to get like capital for those guys,
I think
hanging
they
on
should
to
have traded one
them,
of them.
not playing their, good young players in the midfield, and then having,
Harvey Langford is playing in the midfield.
Rivers.
Windsor's been injured. Rivers had to go play.
Rivers hasn't been injured.
Windsor.
Oh, Wins has been injured.
Rivers had to go into defence because what's his name?
Wins is back now though. He's been back
They haven't had defensive stock. Yeah, and that's why Trent Rivers had to like go back and play
They've got
in
like
defence.
1,000 halfbacks. Like they've got Jake Bowie back there. They've got Salem. They don't need him to play halfback.
Melbourne aren't as shit as you think they are.
But that's my point. You're saying they're good because they've got good players.
I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying they're not shit.
What's the difference?
Shit is negative.
Like what? Semantics.
But
Okay, I'm tipping Brisbane.
Yeah, I'm tipping Brisbane.
No,
Brisbane.
And the last game of the round,
Oh, jeez.
the Nathan Derby,
That
West
is the most
Coast
Optus
Eagles.
Stadium fixture I've ever seen.
Oh, isn't it? Sunday afternoon.
St Kilda and West Coast.
Put me out of my misery.
St Kilda win. Saints get up.
I can see it now. I can just see the scrap fest that it's going to be.
Yeah.
And we kick 7 goals, 12, and they just kick like 9 goals, 10.
You just know with West Coast that there's like games that they just pencil in on the calendar and they're like, we could go all right against these.
Yep, and we're one of them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, 100%. Like they do it against us, of course, but like it's at home. You guys are traveling. You're still like a pretty young team, and they'd think that they could get at you. But how do they do it?
It was really weird ins this week as well for us. Like Sherwin Maker's in, Angus McLennan is in.
I haven't actually seen the
it
players.
was really weird. Mason Wood's back.
Who's out then?
I didn't get it. I didn't really.
It'd be extended.
Yeah.
So it'd kind of
I
useless.
think Stocker and we had a player injured. Forget who it was. Stocker's out because he's injured.
Gotcha.
There was another player.
Boxall?
No, he's still in.
He's still in.
I think he's going to be the sub this week.
Yeah, they'll have to cut it anyway. I am going to tip West Coast.
Ouch.
Wow. Yeah. Nah.
I tipped them
Can't
last
get
week
behind
too, though, against Richmond, and they lost that game.
Not close enough.
They were close. Okay, so you guys are Saints. I'm
I never
West
said that.
Coast. You never said that?
I never said I was tipping us.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are you tipping then?
Saints. Very reluctantly.
I just assumed. All right, guys. Wrap the stream up, boys.
Yeah, wrap her up.
Wrap her up. All right, guys. Good night. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another episode of Footy from the Flat. And Jesse will be here
In a couple of weeks.
in a couple of weeks. So
Big
we're
ups, Nate. Where can we find you? Thanks for
You
joining
can
us
find me on
tonight.
Instagram, the sad Sainer.
The sad Sainer.
Yeah.
Hopefully not sad on Sunday.
And I've got a podcast as well. That's on Spotify. I upload that every Wednesday.
Use the platform to plug your podcast.
I'm not used to having the attention on me. I hide behind my memes.
Welcome to content production, buddy.
I've been on your podcast before.
I know. That was actually our most popular as well.
Was it?
Yeah, by far. Yeah.
No surprise.
Oh.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Bosh. We got lots.